What do you do with a bunch of cops like these? One's a kleptomaniac. One's a compulsively violent ventriloquist. One's addicted to danger. And their leader's a transplanted Cajun who makes up his own rules as he goes along. What do you do with a bunch of cops like these? Give them a psychiatrist and pray.
Everybody's different, I'll tell you something. Living be a problem to a man who don't run. Sleep without a mattress and a loaded gun. Back in the shadows, cotton mouth is lying. Deep in the city, lost men are dying. Look down in the water, sky is what you see. Life is kinda strange that way. Broken ain't a problem, ain't nothing near free. Practice daily perfect, perfectly cracked naturally. Oh, Sherry. Over up the city where the light's supposed to shine. Everybody friendly, but they give you no time. Life ain't worth doing when you're holding the line. House I getting whiskey and muscadine wine. Back in the shadows, cotton mouth is lying. Deep in the city, lost men are dying. Look down in the water, sky is what you see. Life's just kinda strange that way. Broken ain't a problem, ain't nothing near free. Practice daily perfect, perfectly cracked naturally. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, George. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Take cover!
Those soldiers move faster than I expected.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What's going on, Bombad fam? It's me, ya boy, Scotty J-Ro. Glad to be here. We've been here for 6 years, and we've been waiting for this discussion for 10 years. That's right. Super duper excited to be here for this one. It's going to get real personal. Might even get a little emotional for someone like me personally, who's going through a lot of change in 10 years, much like most people have. But yeah, we've got this discussion. Super excited to be here. We got some people in the chat, some new faces. I got someone that said right here, first live show. Well, thank you. Welcome to February 2099. Glad to have you here. Shout out to everyone else hanging out in the chat as well. We got Eric Elliott. We've got our wonderful friend Eli. Eli, it's Popo. We've also got Anthony. We've got, I was seeing who would laugh. They both laughed in the back of the thing. That's good. Popo, it's Eli. So that being said, great people here tonight. One thing we need to plug before we move on. Jerry and I have a fun thing in the works for Christmas, maybe. Not quite sure if we're going to pursue it just yet, but he doesn't have the kiddo on Christmas night, and I am, of course, single now, so I can do whatever I want on Christmas night. So that's one of the things that we may take advantage of if we have the time to do it. However, the next thing we're going to plug is next week we will be doing our 10-year retrospective review of The Force Awakens. And it seems that we're the only podcasters in our space, maybe aside from Ken and Joseph and Jennifer at Force Center, that are even acknowledging this movie exists and its 10-year reunion. We're doing more than what Disney's doing. Disney's busy making shitty KOTOR remakes. So that's exciting. Let's put out a thing that doesn't count. That's awesome. I love it. It's like people that dog on The Mandalorian. At least it counts. That being said, let's bring in the one, the only, my wonderful friend, the person that I do this with every week, Jerry, the Cat and Junkie Cable.
Yeah, what's up, Scotty? Listen, I can't wait to go to the Force Awakens 10-year high school reunion. Oh, it's going to be so great. Can you imagine a balding Poe Dameron? Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Like, look, he peaked in high school. We all know it's true.
That's right.
Guys, come on.
He did. He was running drugs in high school because...
Apparently, yeah.
Because they're just...
You look at him.
Anyway, they are busy with AI, which is pretty cool. Disney has now said they're working with an AI company to release a show or something, and they can use 200 of their characters and assets, in which were listed Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Mickey Mouse, of course, characters from Frozen. So you can make them have sex on screen. I took that joke from Ken Knapp.
Yeah,
that was a Ken Knapp joke. I straight up stole that from him. So I'll admit that there.
You see, you can make Darth Vader eat a coffee mug with 10 fingers on one hand. It's great.
So it's awesome. We're doing really good. They released a trailer for a Legends video game. We're stooping low. So let's actually talk about what kicked off this era tonight with some memories of The Force Awakens. And yes, as you've read on the thumbnail, this is indeed a call-in show. We're going to put the link out in the chat in just a moment. What we're going to do is we have our first call-in guest right here, and then we're going to lead directly into photos from the era of Jerry and I. As you can see from the thumbnail, there's a bunch of good ones just on here alone. So to think 10 years ago we were taking these photos, almost 10 years, not to the day, it'll be 10 years to December 18th, but very, very close. We're only a week out. However, our retrospective review will drop 10 years from the day that it came out. So that's going to be very exciting. We'll be recording that this next week at some point. But that being said, let's bring in our first call-in person. The link will be going out to everyone in just a little bit. We're talking about Jared, the Dark Jedi.
This is your wake-up call. Time to reach, go for it all. Vulture stirs inside of me, and I know what I can be. Limit is the sky. Hey world, watch me fly. The best part of waking up is vultures in your cup.
That's right.
I was doing the little read out.
It worked out pretty well, actually.
Recent developments for the band Kiss notwithstanding, I think my favorite part of that whole clip is when they cut to him for that little riff he does of waking up. There's like a little head thing with that little riff.
It's awesome.
I'm like, ooh,
It's one of my favorite parts. Waking up.
But no, I'm excited to be here, excited to call in. I'm about to record an episode of Nerd Academy that'll be going out tomorrow morning.
There we go.
I also, like you were talking about, the lovely folks at Force Center, Also dropping on the actual anniversary next week. I just last night recorded an episode with Ken for Knights of the Nerd Republic. Also looking back on The Force Awakens 10 years.
Unreal.
Where I will say this is the second time I've had the honor of having Ken on Knights of the Nerd Republic. Every time I am honest enough to say I do think I still get a little starstruck that I'm having Ken on my show. So I low key spend the first 20 minutes forgetting how to talk about Star Wars.
You glaze him.
There's some mild glazing. There's some mild glazing. I think it's whatever.
It's just a guy who watches squirrels. Like give him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's calm down here. No, but I understand, Jared, and especially when it comes to this, where we were all listening to, the pundits at the time. We were all a part of the very early internet, nerds have become cool again culture, and then it's kind of like a what's it called, a bottleneck effect, where it's like, oh my god, you're at the very top of the bottleneck, which is nothing's very diverse, it's all very it's all very special. Yeah. And then when it bottlenecked out, we were at the crest, right at the crest when Bombadcast and TNAP sort of formed, and then now it's
right with the guys with the ironic mustaches and stuff. Yes. Too, and suspenders.
If they were okay, here we go. Let's actually do this metaphorically. If we were to look at this sparkling water bottle, just to explain the science of it all, and that water is sparkling. God. It's glistening. No, this was
glistening.
This is Force Center 2015. It's Jedi Council. And then Bombadcast was right here. And then COVID happened right here. And this is just, and imagine if the bottle were just to be at almost umbrella size. That's infinite. That's where we're at now. Especially
go up a little bit. If you go up a little more, you'll see Jared glazing Ken in there as well.
Way up here. Yeah, but it's funny. I think the problem is we had such a nice concentration of voices here. Then we came along, TNAP came along, Octo Radio came along, a bunch of podcasts came along right in this time, and then by the time people all of a sudden got all their information from TikTok or Reels or any social media, it had become the umbrella, and that's when I went to dog shit. And thank God for Avatar: Fire and Ash. So let's move on.
Now you can have Jake Sully,
Spider
finger banging Vanellope von Schweetz. It's insane.
Oh, that's wonderful. We've gone so far, but we're here to have you come on, Jared, and of course, all of us will share our stories. But you have a recording in a moment, Jared. What was your memories like around this era when this was coming out? Because you were still in high school, weren't you?
Yeah,
I love that.
The announcement of episode 7 of the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm, I was in 8th grade. I told the story on the KNR that'll be out next week. The acquisition news breaks a week after, in my civics class, we had a project about the stock market where we had to monitor stocks for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
And the person who had who would have made the most money got a shit ton of bonus points. The week after the project wrapped up, the acquisition happened. One of my stocks was Disney, because I was Marvel money, Marvel money. And I did the math, and I would have done that by magnitudes had the thing gone on a week longer. And then I was in my sophomore year of high school when, trailers are coming out, Chewie were home. I remember vividly, I want to say it was a Comic-Con. It wasn't San Diego because it wasn't summertime yet. There was a trip that the band and choir went on in 10th grade. And that weekend, we got the first full trailer where we saw Jakku. And the news broke oh, this isn't Tatooine. This is Jakku. This is a new place, new desert world.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff. It was the same weekend that one of the Batman v Superman trailers leaked. And I was with a bunch of my friends, some of whom are a part of Nerd Academy. And we spent almost this entire trip exclusively talking about the Force Awakens trailer. And then my junior year of high school, it's such a funny memory to reflect on. This young lady I had been pining over by name of Becca. They're very oh, we're both friends and we both clearly like each other, but we're both too chicken shit to really do anything about it. In a very kind of high school romancy way, we get together and I'm oh, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm 17. Kind of thing.
Kind of hard to beat.
she's a big nerd, but had never gotten into Star Wars. So we get together in like October, I want to say.
Octo? What?
We get it, yeah, Octo. We get together in like October, and like, okay, I have 2 months to show you Star Wars. I have 2 months to show you all 6 movies. We're doing this, and she fell in love with it, and she was super fucking into it. And you know, just that lead up of like trying to explain, like, you know, like not in like a weird gatekeepy, like, oh, you're new to this, you don't get how massive this is, but on a like, I can't put into words how surreal it feels right now to know this is about to happen.
Yeah.
And just that being this like drum I'm beating over and over and over again, like you don't I can't put this into words. It's something I talked about with Ken, where it's like, you know, people our age, like our version of the dark times, we had the golden age of Star Wars gaming. Publishing had never been more, you know, just out of control and how much was coming out in books and comics. And we had a whole ass, you know, animated series.
Yes.
You know, like our dark times was not what like someone like Ken's dark times were, right? We didn't have Tom, Charlie. Get out of here, tea and crumpet boy. But either way, the movie comes out. I'm there opening night, 9 p.m. showing, and I went in my Kylo Ren cosplay.
Which I have an image of. Let me get that pulled up, actually. Give me
Yes.
one moment.
But I went in that. One of the funny things was on my way out, I was getting a lot of dirty looks, some playful jeers, very much that Tony's performance where Alex Brightman is like, you know, Adam Driver, you killed Han Solo, not cool, bro. That kind of thing. Yeah, there's me with Spencer. That was
I got the other ones. I can't find it. I got lost in my downloads, but I do have this one. So,
but yeah, so they're full Kylo Ren regalia in the theater, and it felt magical, you know, like it felt. I think because pop culture after the Avengers came out in 2012. I don't want to say that was the beginning of event cinema, because that's certainly not true. Like the blockbuster phenomena was always a thing, ever since the 70s at least. But like I thought, like because of the amount of hype around the Avengers, and now this hype is here for Star Wars because Star Wars is back. I was like, oh, and every time a Star Wars movie comes out, it's going to feel like this, right? And it wasn't. And there's a part of me that wants to go back and just be there on opening night again. And there's there's a handful of specific memories from that evening that stick out to me so much. The first one was, it wasn't assigned seating at the theater we went to. So when we got there, it was so crowded. We ended up kind of in like the top right section. And I remember being a little pissed off that I couldn't be in the middle where I like to be. But looking back on it, I'm grateful for that, because I quite literally had a bird's eye view of the room.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
And
that is pretty cool.
And I was so locked into the movie, but like I also couldn't stop thinking about how much of a communal, like quasi-religious experience this was.
Yeah.
And like I am so grateful now that I was like, oh, like I saw people. I could see people, you know, gasping at certain things, and like seeing people's faces light up because I could just kind of look down and see people. I remember so vividly this palpable tension in the room from the moment Han Solo screams Ben. And it was a cold theater. The room felt hot and tense. Like it felt like everybody in the room was having a hard time breathing, because we all knew what was about to happen. And it did not matter if everybody in there was somebody who had only seen the movies. It did not matter if, you know enough about the deep lore, about the behind the scenes, and you know that if Harrison's coming back, he's probably going to die. All of these background details. It does not matter the wide spectrum of Star Wars, like inside baseball, you knew. you knew what was about to happen and there was nothing you could do to stop it. And you just had to helplessly watch it happen. I remember, again, how quiet it was in that room. And whenever Kylo Ren drops his helmet and it like clangs down on that catwalk, I remember feeling Becca like jump out of her seat a little bit.
So awesome.
You know, and I saw a couple other people do it too, because it's looking right down. And just, it was again, there was just a surreality to it. Like, I was there the opening night of Avengers Endgame. I was there the opening night of Avengers Infinity War, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Solo, Rogue One. Nothing was fucking like that, man.
Nah, man.
Like, not
awesome.
to blow my load for an episode of KNR that's coming out in a week, but like that movie theater did something I had never seen them do before and never did since. They had a cash bar concession stand in the auditorium. Someone came in with a cart. Someone came in with a cart with like a big tub of popcorn to give people refills, a handful of large drinks, and some candy, with like very much with the idea being nobody should have to leave this room.
That's awesome.
Like
That's
that, like that was
badass.
the level. I've never seen that happen for anything
That's
else.
crazy.
Before or since. And again,
Yeah.
and I think seeing that person who worked at the theater bring that cart in, I knew how massive this was to me. I knew how personal this was to me. But I am like, I remember seeing that person carted in, and I remember kind of going, oh, I've never seen him do that before.
Dude.
This is big. I remember years later for like, again, like for Last Jedi, for even Infinity War and Endgame, and I'm, you know, much older at that point, and I'm going, oh, surely they're going to have like the concession stand cash bar. That never happened again.
No, that was it. That was
Force
one and done.
Awakens was fucking
They learned their
different.
lesson.
It was fucking different. I don't know if they even made any money off of that, quite frankly.
I wonder.
Right.
But I just remember that being there, and you know, leaving the theater, you know, the conversations were so weird, you know, because it was like not in like I don't want to say I was underwhelmed. I really liked the movie, but I remember I was having those initial like, oh, if that felt a lot like A New Hope, and then like the other part of my brain going, it did, but so does Phantom Menace. And thinking back on it's like poetry, it rhymes, and like coming to this realization of like what this really means right now. You know, again, I was in kindergarten when Revenge of the Sith came out. I was in kindergarten, and my whole life I could remember up to that point being told Star Wars is over.
Yeah, of course.
You could play your games, you could read your books, it's over now.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 years later, it's back. It's real. I am seeing a new Star Wars movie in the theater, and I'm old enough to remember every single second of it. And then, again, just by happenstance, like 2 weeks later, there's a huge blizzard in good old Latrobe, and the park near my house in this wooded area, again, Becca, who I mentioned earlier, who may tune into this. You know, I shot her a message the other night when I was watching The Force Awakens. I was like, hey, man, I just want to say I hope you're doing well. I see your art on Facebook all the time. Thank you for being a part of this like watershed moment in my like Star Wars fan journey. And not only did she respond with like, oh, thank you for letting me be a part of it and whatever, but she also hit me with like every single photo I didn't have of the Kylo Ren outfit.
Damn.
Nice.
That is
Like,
awesome.
Like
That's
I didn't
great.
say a word of, by the way, do you still have the pictures? She
knew.
She responded, and then boom, 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 with this like all of the ones I did not still have.
That's sick.
That's wonderful.
Because
That is really cool.
She got
Yeah.
it. And I remember like we went and took all those photos because like again, that wooded area, it looked like Starkiller Base. You know, there's one she edited to have like a red hue that looked like Starkiller Base was firing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll shut up here in a minute and get out of your hair. The one last story, you know, it's not a secret. I'm a big fan of the Christmas season. I'm a firm believer in Christmas magic. It's my favorite holiday of all time. The number one thing on my wish list for a month or so was I wanted the Kylo Ren Force FX Black Series saber. And my mom My mom had done a thing several times where she knew my brother and I or my sister really wanted something. So she would straight up just be like, "Hey, we couldn't find it. I just want you to know, blah, 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 blah." Sometimes that was true, and then she found it last minute, and sometimes she was full of shit and just wanted to like bottom out our expectations so that she could like fucking come off the top rope like Santa. This time she was telling the truth, and she was like, "Hey, I looked high and low for that lightsaber. I couldn't find it. I'm sorry."
Damn.
December 23rd. One of her regulars at the bar, because she's a bartender, she taught me everything I knew. One of her regulars reaches out and goes, "Hey," sends her a picture. This is the lightsaber your son is looking for, right? My mom got her hands on the Force FX Black Series saber the day before Christmas Eve. And Christmas morning, in my mom's words, because we were talking about it the other night, because I want to make sure I had the details right. My mom told me that they strategically hid the lightsaber because that box is fucking huge.
Oh yeah,
like
it is
because
a
like
big,
the
I
boxes
remember
are
that.
long because the boxes
Yeah.
are typically long, but this one had to be super wide to accommodate
Yeah.
the cross guard.
Right.
They had hid it behind one of our Christmas trees,
Wow.
and my mom described it as a Christmas Story style.
Incredible.
And I was like, instead of me having like the Red Ryder BB gun, carbine, whatever, it was Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll
But-
poke your eye out.
But she was like, I wanted that to be the last thing you open because like you only, basically, there's only one Christmas the week after Star Wars comes back. And I
That's
remember
true.
opening it and freaking the fuck out. And again, the week later when that blizzard happens, my mom, because I had two Kylo Ren lightsabers. I had kind of like a more rinky dink one is the one I'm holding in that photo. And I was like, and I remember I had the suit on. Becca was over. She was getting bundled up. And I like reached over to grab the Force FX one. And my mom was like, "You're not fucking taking that in the snow, asshole. Get the one from Walmart. Get the
That's
one
right.
from Walmart, and your little girlfriend can edit in a lightsaber blade and make it look cool. You're not taking that thing in the snow."
Yeah.
But yeah, just that like 3-week period. I think I saw The Force Awakens 8 times in theaters.
We're the same, dude. Same
I
number.
was a lunatic about it because I went to see it opening night. I think I went back to see it either that Friday or that Saturday.
That
And then
Saturday
like
was mine.
the half day of school before Christmas break, I was like, I'm going to see it again, and I'm seeing it with all my friends. And Spencer and Joel, all people that I do Nerd Academy with now. I was just, it was just so magical. Plural, yeah, there are two. There's one in the hallway and one in the dining room.
Right.
This shit isn't a joke
Hall
to me.
tree in
I
the
need you guys to
dining
room.
understand. Christmas is not a joke in the Bachman Stubbs
No.
household. This shit's an extreme sport. But yeah, I just looking back on it, I just people joke about how youth is wasted on the young, where it's like if you have the intellect, if you have the know-how, if you have the wisdom you have as an elder adult, if you were younger, how much could you have done?
Yeah.
And I have this moment now where it's like me as like a fully formed adult, I'm like, I want to do this again with this like deeper understanding I have of Star Wars, that like, that this was, I think it truly was the beginning of me transitioning from this is a like fictional historiography I know front to back,
Yeah.
to it's that, but it's also this really rich mythical allegory, and like just I wish I could experience that again and like fully appreciate those things that began to finally click for me. As
Well,
I
look,
am
and that
now.
not to be this guy, but that is unfortunately the difference in age, because I don't know what Jerry's was like in that sense. But I was 20, and like I was done with high school. Like my brain wasn't occupied with so much, like because there's always just stuff going on in high school and like things do. And I was in college, and of course I was with Katie at the time, and like everything, it was like one of those periods where like this sounds messed up, but like no one had died yet. You know what I mean? Like it was like all my grandparents were still there, and
No,
we
that
all
totally
went.
makes sense. Because
you know
like,
what I mean?
Like the world, there's a like the world is
green.
still magical. You know,
Yes,
just the world.
yes.
Like it's still mystical. Like
Yes.
like the phrase demystifying. Like
Mhm.
the world doesn't feel clinical or real
Yes.
yet. Like there's a world happening around you. You get to experience it. You're not in it yet.
Yeah.
Well, not to
Well,
mention
here-
that at that time, just in the world, it was like the last time. A lot of people still believed in hope and stuff back then, you know.
It was the
And,
tail end of the Obama administration. And not that that's a real big indicator of great things, because obviously bad things happened during his presidency.
Right.
But we were on the precipice of like things really going to shit in like the most real way possible. Like it's weird to think we were only 5 years away from a global pandemic that would really change everyone's lives for about a year. You know, like it was, and not even to add politics into it, but just world things in general, right? Like this was the return of a thing that we all very much liked, and it would hopefully bring new people in. And I'll say it here, and I'll say it forever, but like it worked. Like I don't care what everyone thinks and thinks now. Like the fatigue. Oh, I don't love Andor's the only good thing that they've ever done. I'm like, no one was saying this in 2015. Everyone loved this movie. I didn't know a single person that disliked it. Maybe they didn't agree with how they handled it, but no one I knew, and no one I think ever. I'd be shocked to hear someone like, I hated every aspect of it. Well, I'm like, well, you dislike the best acted Star Wars movie of all time. What else could you ask for? Like,
I had one friend. I had one friend who was my Star Wars friend who was like, it was a new hope. It's this. And he like, after he had to wait for me to see it, and then he like had to call me to talk about that. And it was,
I can't wait till we do this, all of this for The Last Jedi in a couple years.
Cool.
Because like I have such a fun story about like a hour and a half long phone call I had to have with Spencer.
Yeah.
After he saw the movie. Because he was like, I just saw this and I don't know what I'm feeling. I need to talk to you.
That was Jerry and I for Tross, which is really kind of funny. We had
you
the
know,
same
where it
exact
was
thing,
like it was like I need to get all this off my chest. And I was the same way. Like I had people around me who were like kind of boo-hooing it, and it's like, you know, the internet poisoned, irony poisoned, you know, cynicism, you know, like forced cynicism of youth, you know, where it's like either you're wide-eyed or because everyone around you is wide-eyed, you need to be a cynic.
Yeah.
And arguing about that shit, and you know, me being like, I don't think it's perfect, but like think about it this way, or arguing about how Rey can beat Kylo Ren. And that's a whole part of the episode of KNR where I'm like, you know, like forget myth, forget all of this, like logistically this makes perfect sense, and we're not going to bore you with that, but
no,
this time is just so special. And you know, I truly wish Lucasfilm and Disney were doing more for it, instead of, you know, just destroying the legendary IP with this AI garbage and, you know, the uwu bestie bullshit. You know, it really is upsetting, you know, and I don't want to like this isn't me shitting on Avatar. This isn't me shitting on Avatar. I regret the timing of Fire and Ash's release. Because
I kind of feel that too.
I
frankly.
think if Disney had an opening here, that they wouldn't be splitting the difference between here's a movie that we need to make like 18 quadrillion fucking dollars, like all of these do somehow.
Yeah,
and they will.
And they will. We can't re-release a Star Wars movie. You know, like there's a part of me that almost wishes Fire and Ash was a January or a November release.
Well, the frustrating thing is, this is where I have my frustrations. It's like, you gave Revenge of the Sith its 20th, which is fair. I understand that. They could have very well done an October or a September for this one. Like, you still could have. You didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't impossible, right? But I agree with you. And we got to keep this thing moving, Jared. I love you. Thank you for coming on. If you want to plug anything real quick, you're more than welcome to. We'll send the call in and just link out in just a moment. Jerry and I are going to look at some photos of our own in just a moment as well. So anything you want to say?
First of all, thank you for having me. Obviously check out Nerd Academy Podcast. We have our MCU rewatch show, the Doomsday, happening right now. I believe the next episode coming out on the main feed on Monday is going to be our Guardians of the Galaxy episode with Eli from In a Galaxy coming up. Speaking of that week, Tuesday is the big Epic Confrontation singles championship match between, I'll step out of kayfabe for a minute and say, between our dear friends Michael McDonald and Diaz. Out of kayfabe, I think this is going to be a hell of a match. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining things that Eli's ever put on. So Nerd Academy Epic Confrontations next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And Pro Noob on the Mitch692 channel. We're watching Attack on Titan and Luminous Odyssey, the Star Wars RPG, on Michael's channel on all remaining systems. So that's my plethora of plugs. Man, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and happy birthday, Force Awakens. Goddamn.
I love you. Stay
Holidays.
bombad.
Stay bombad.
Bye, bitch. Okay, so
Yeah.
he talked a
Oh, yeah.
while. He talked a while. I'm just kidding. That's why we want him here. Look at that time. What the age? So, Jerry, let's start off with your memories first. I got your photos queued up. So, Jerry.
Oh, perfect.
Obviously, you and I did not know each other. We got to preface that. Jerry
No.
and I did not meet till 4 years after this, essentially. Really 3.
Till the lead up to Rise of Skywalker.
That's right. We were there for the first
It was
trailer
Chicago.
together.
It was 2019 Chicago when we met finally.
Yes, but the thing is, you and I, in some way, were connected, even if we didn't know it.
Right.
You know, like there's just something to be said about where we both at, where we were at with our lives and everything. And I'll show this first photo. Jerry sent some just a few moments ago of stuff. So let's talk about this. What are we looking at here?
So these were the first 2 Black Series and I used to really be more into collecting the Black Series before I had to take out a second mortgage to buy any. And so these were the first 2 that I got from Force Friday, right? I got a Kylo Ren and I got a Stormtrooper.
So did you go at midnight, or did you like that Friday during the day?
I went. They didn't have anything put up when I went. Remember, I think I told you that like one of my ex-wife had to go to work early. So
I do remember this.
Actually, at the time, yeah. So I dropped her off. It was 2 hours before my shift, so I drove back down to all you Michiganders out there know the Meijer. The Meijer. Went to Meijer, and nothing was up. I went to both of them. There were 2 in my town. I went to the Target wasn't open yet, actually. And this was back, kids, before the pandemic, when stores stayed open for 24 hours.
Yep.
That was insane that we did that to people, but we did. But yeah, no, I went in there 3 a.m. Nothing, not a box, not a scrap of anything. There was a Chewbacca standee, which I think is the one that we're coming up to here in a sec. But this is at my old apartment just down the road from where I'm at right now that we first stayed in when we first moved up to Michigan. And so this is like I got my coffee mug collection in the back there, and then we were all doing similar things. Real dad activities, collecting coffee mugs, and
we were all doing similar things, which I love because you'll see mine in a moment. And I think is that like the indoor shirt? Is that the Dagobah?
That's
shirt?
actually Target. Yeah, that's the Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader head with the I loved those. But yeah, that's Return of the Jedi. Actually, that looks like me at Target right there.
That's right. You're like, oh god, you're like neutral sex bathrooms. That's why you're freaking out.
Why I'm freaking out because I'm afraid that somebody's gonna come in and try to pee while I'm in there. It's
gonna pee on you. This was hilarious. I love this. Tell me about this.
So this is my friend who didn't like the movie was making a commercial for the movie theater that is now a bowling alley down there. This movie theater doesn't exist anymore. But look, this is the movie theater I worked at for almost a decade. And he was making he just sent me a Snapchat of him working on this teaser that they were going to put on Facebook or something about, hey, tickets are available now.
That's
he says,
awesome.
And Paragould is my hometown. He says he's shocked he's at Paragould.
It's pretty good. I like that. It's some good Photoshop.
Well, looks like these were the friends that I did creative stuff with before I met Scotty, and before I found my soulmate.
Look
kind of
at
things.
this.
Speaking of soulmates, here's me and my ex-wife, right there. That was the day so I wasn't able to get tickets to the night of
So
the
Thursday,
midnight
you didn't do the
premiere.
Thursday night.
I
Okay.
didn't get into Thursday because I wanted to go to a specific theater and see it in a specific format. And this is in Grand Rapids here. They had this huge, it's at an IMAX theater, but it wasn't in IMAX that we saw it. This right here was a big backdrop they had set up. You see, we're looking very good. We both had our matching shirts. She bought us. She's looking very astute as well in these photos. But yeah, no, it was a good thing. Listen, we were hyped. I was ready. What she didn't know is that I was going to break into tears when Han Solo died.
Of course.
In here, and also this is the one that I got sick with.
The sickness came on.
This is the one where I got sick by the end of this. I don't know if you can tell by my face or anything. If it was hold on. Let's get to the closer up one.
Yeah,
there we
can't
go.
tell. It's not.
No, I look fine. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Han Solo dying destroyed my immune system.
I think that could have been like a shock, like a heart. When people die of heartbreak, it could have been a little bit of that.
Yeah, I was to say. Yeah, I got a cold and heartbreak.
So what? How old were you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious because I think you would be like 20.
Listen, I'm 38 right now, so I would be
28.
28. Yeah. It was exactly 10 years. Yeah, I was 28 years old right there.
Wow.
28 years young.
Sorry. That's incredible. And where were you at mentally in your life here? This was were y'all engaged at this point? I don't even remember.
No, we were married, moved up to Michigan, living, just living our life and everything. It was that life was good for the most part. Yeah. And it was one of those things where, again, I had not been this excited for something. This is to me, the peak of the excitement was this. Last Jedi followed with, all of them had a crazy level of hype.
Of course.
But this one was,
I hate to say it, you had to be there. It's kind of one of those hypes. You just kind of had
honestly,
to.
Yeah. Well, because before this and stuff, we had, I always say that I tricked her when she married me. It's when Star Wars started to come out, it was just the beginning of the end again and stuff, because I was weird? I was into it, but I wasn't chomping at the bit. I was like, it's over, it's whatever and stuff. And then when they said it's coming back, we're making more movies, blah, blah, all this, it was just, I fell over the precipice again, and just it consumed my every thoughts.
It just changed. So, it changed how I thought too. And obviously we've had the privilege to talk about this stuff a lot recently.
The way we cover Scotty's face though on those photos. Yeah, no. Didn't Scotty look great in those photos?
I look good. I have a nice body. So that being said, I remember, obviously, when all this was going down, everything was coming out, it felt so fresh. It felt really, it was kind of fun to walk down the toy aisle and see the Legos and see, all the things just being set up. That was and we'll look at some examples a lot of y'all have forgotten about. So, I loved your storied history with it, because you're right in its own weird way. And for me, it was the opposite. Yours was the beginning, not beginning of the end. That sounds bad, but it felt like a beginning of your fandom journey again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mine was this weird era of this was a beginning for me where I'm 20 now, I'm off to college. I had been at college for a year. I just met the girl that I would end up marrying, and now I'm divorced from. So you and I are in the same boat now, emotionally speaking, which is kind of incredible that we both have shared narratives with this. And, I don't know if Star Wars is the root of it. Obviously she was there for and she went to all the celebrations with me up until, Japan. So there's all these things where you look back on it, could this have been the thing that changed me, that made me less attractive, or whatever it is, right? I don't know if that's even something I can answer right now, but at the moment, and you can say the same, our partners did everything they could to make us happy during this. And I could show you, I will show you examples of what Katie did for me. And I'm still forever thankful that she was as open as she was about it. So I want to show my collection of photos. It's a good bit. We're not going to dwell on it too long, but just to give you some more context. So this is going to start off in a weird place for me personally. It's a photo of my grandfather. It was my Papa Cecil. The reason why I'm showing this photo was this was the night, and you could see it on the TV if you're looking. Happy Thanksgiving. This was the night before the trailer came out in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I went back that far, and I was looking at the night and the day before my life changed. Like, in terms of, like, having this interest again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah.
So here's my plate.
There has been an awakening, like,
yes,
like a lot of different levels there. Oh,
yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good plate. And so, look, we're taking
for my liking, but... You know.
It's like, well, there's Sophie. This dog's dead. My grandfather's now obviously since passed away. But like, it's those things where like things have changed. That's my stepmom. That's before she was even my stepmom. You know what I mean? That was, yeah. No. She had just became my stepmom. Just like literally months before that.
Okay.
There's my dad. There's my cousin Taylor, who has since passed away, and my grandmother, who has since passed away. So it's weird to look at this and be like, you know, all these things had changed, and he was actually getting cancer treatment at MD Anderson at the time. So this plays a lot into the story later, which will make more sense. So obviously the trailer comes out. This is now in April. So I am now taking photos from the Anaheim Convention Center, which you and I, if you really think about it, when we did those videos, Jerry, it was in the same exact area almost 7 years later. Do you remember that little area where we did the Bandai giveaway? That's the same brick. That's the same brick wall right there, and those are the same holes.
Goodness, look at that.
Isn't that really weird to think like all these years later, you know, where I took this photo or I saved this photo from like Twitter or something, and of course we hyped this up a few weeks ago, but the official BB-8 rollout. So these are all saved from my photo album from that era, right? You know, so this was like the first looks at everything back in April. And this is the first time I saw the actual poster in the theater right there. This was May 22nd, 2015. This very well could have been the first time Katie and I ever went to saw a movie together. We went and saw Tomorrowland. So I probably saw that going into Tomorrowland with Katie, which is so crazy.
I saw that poster. We were on like I think we went on a beach vacation before we moved up here because we wouldn't be near the Gulf anymore. Gulf Shores. Oh
yes, even weirder. Even weirder. Well, we intersect and weave.
We gotta make it there someday. Me and you.
I think we really could pull it off this summer. I think we can make something work.
We'll work it out. Yeah. But anyway, you guys aren't invited. I don't. Have we sent the link in the chat yet? I've got it right here.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it. You're more than welcome to. You can send the link in the chat if anyone wants to join us. You just got to make sure you copy and paste it into your tab browser or wherever you want to join from, and we'll gladly bring you on in a little bit. We're going to keep sharing. Yeah, Nick. We hung out with Nick in Gulf Shores. So let me show you some more stuff too, just so we can get in there. This was the Target display.
I have a video of this too.
Force Friday. So I went at midnight. The only place that had it, there's Katie. The only place that had it was the Phantom. I'm sorry, was the New Orleans Target. There was a Target in New Orleans right off the interstate, and we went there. It might have actually been Metairie, but yeah, listen to that. Before they changed the way his beeps sound.
I have pretty much this exact video that I almost sent to you. Yeah, pretty much. We are like pretty much the same exact person, my man.
Oh, I'm telling you, and it'll get worse. And look, here's Katie and I all those years ago, you know. And obviously, that's the thing people don't realize. Like, I know you don't feel that way about Allison as well. Like you don't look back at this with spite or bitterness, you know. Like, even though y'all aren't together anymore. Times. Oh, it was great, and like. She was embracing my autism. Like, I mean, like really, you know, like
that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Despite having and that's something that this era, you know, I mean, it was very special for that, you know.
Yes.
There were, you know, there's to quote something I've watched just recently. You know, you think that it was all a lie, but some of it was real.
Oh,
you
of
know,
course.
when it comes to the partners and stuff. Like, I think that it was real that they wanted to share in this with us, you know?
Yep, I agree. And I just never forget, like, they did little giveaways and stuff, and like we didn't win anything, but it was so cool to see. Like, this was my first time with like a true fandom interaction, where like this guy won a giant Chewbacca plush like Funko Pop thing, and this guy won like Kylo Ren's lightsaber at the raffle, and like they had Star Wars bikes right there. Like, this was it, and that's us just in our living our best life. And I'll never forget, it was September, so it was still a little hot, right? And so I'm wearing shorts and my, like, you know, almost like chill college outfits, and we drove to New Orleans super late. The very first time I ever heard the music of Les Miserables was with Katie on the way back, and I'll never forget this. I had just bought this lightsaber because she was singing it for some reason, and I knew in my gut, this is not even a kidding, we'd only been dating for a very little bit of time. We'd been dating since like June, so this is like maybe 4 months. I knew I was going to marry her, and obviously I thought I would be with her for the rest of my life, which is certainly not the case, but it was such a special moment. Like, you're embracing who I am and who I would become, and, you know, what we do. And obviously the opportunity, this led to so many opportunities in our lives, from, you know, meeting you in, you know, Chicago, to having this podcast, to going to the Kenobi, you know, first episode and celebration, to speaking at my panel in Japan. Like, I don't think any of us knew how much this would grow. And I wore the shit out of this BB-8 shirt. I mean, I didn't go a week without wearing it.
Yeah.
I love this shirt. And another one, I don't know if you saw this one. They had a red Force Awakens logo. Yeah, dude. I know.
Font, man.
I don't know where it's at. I wish I could find that. That one I'd be very happy to have right now, and I don't know where it's at. But that one is a really good one. And so these will progress more into things like, look, this is in my dorm room. This is my dorm room table. I can remember right there in ZT. And that was the first lightsaber prop. I wonder if I don't think I have it in here, but that I remember when you would flick the blade, the other side parts would pop out too with it. Yeah, it was so it's so cool, and it was cheap. It was like $11. Like,
really, it was like the cheap ones that went all the way in and stuff like that. My cousin had 10 of these things when they first came.
And look, here's the anxiety of buying those tickets. I don't think this was opening night technically. This is Fandango.
At like 2 a.m. I was up. I set an alarm, and I had to still get up even early, like or pretty much after that, and go to work at a factory and stuff like that. But I got up in the middle of the goddamn night to get these tickets to go there, and that's again, and all I could get was the next day, right?
Yep.
It's insane. It sold so quick, and it was like refreshing and refreshing and refreshing. It was a feverish night. It
was probably the first time that ever happened. Like, really, you know, like actually the first time that the sites crashed because of how big it was. So that weekend I saw it. This was so stupid. I saw it Thursday night, technically Friday morning, because it was 12 a.m. showing, but they had a 7 p.m. and a 9 p.m. showing. I don't know why I just didn't purchase those. And you'll see those photos in a minute. However, I saw it Saturday in the morning with my dad's side of the family, which we'll see in a second. And I saw it Saturday at 2:30 with my mom's side. So by the time that Sunday hit, and I saw it again, I saw it 4 times before that Sunday even hit. So, like, it was such a special time. It felt so
these
bad.
Pictures too.
Yes. I mean, look at them. This was in the Star Wars app.
It was
It was either that or the face. It was either that or the Facebook frame. That was a big deal whenever.
That was another one too. Yeah, but I remember had a lot of stuff in the Star Wars app. Man, the Star Wars app. Was key back then, man. God, what an era!
Don't know why I saved this photo.
Oh, there we go. There's a picture of you and Katie.
This is where it started. This is where my obsession started right here. And these are screenshots I took that night watching the premiere on my phone. This was the date was Katie and I were walking through TJ Maxx, I'm pretty sure, December 14th, and I had like wired headphones on watching this, like walking around TJ Maxx behind her. I'm like, I can't miss this. But yeah, I was taken because he hadn't talked or done anything. Yeah, literally, this is literally Marshall's. Hold on. You can actually see the timestamp. I am walking around taking screenshots at 7:56 p.m. and I'm still there 4 minutes later finding this little
Right.
wall art. So this is a weird photo. You're gonna be like, what the hell? What is this? Looks creepy. I was working for the company my dad also works for at the time, at Christmas time, just making extra money. Okay. This is where, and I shouldn't have fucking done it. I shouldn't have done it, guys. This is where I was scrolling through Reddit. And then I saw on, like, before it had gotten flagged or taken down, I saw on Reddit, it was like, Han Solo dies. Completely gutted me. And I remember I was like, I cleaned and organized this area. That's it organized. It was a mess.
Right.
And I had like finished my work. I had like took my headphones out to listen to music. I'm going to open up Reddit real quick and just chill back here. I open it up and instantly it was like Han Solo dies. And I'll never forget like, and I think that the second caption was a hero of the rebellion or something so fucking, it was like,
Yeah.
did they really just ruin this? And they did. And they did. And that's okay. And I shouldn't have been on Reddit because the movie comes out 3 days later. You know what I mean?
Right. It's always like right before too. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I took off
your ass down.
Yes, exactly. I took off from work at that job on the 17th, 18th, and I think the rest was the weekend. But the reason I'm saying that is because we went to Kohl's that day, and like we just went shopping. These are some like blinged out shirts at Kohl's, and she bought me this really sweet card. I still have it. I literally still have it in my Force Awakens visual dictionary. The Quavian Death Gang, before we even knew who the hell the Quavian Death Gang was.
Yeah, we were like, oh, look at this robot guy.
There she is, Katie, with the Force Awakens blanket. I still have that blanket. It's still very soft. This is, of course, the night of the first episode, of the movie. I was so hyped. That's my Qui-Gon Jinn blade, essentially, from childhood. And that's me and my mom, me and my stepdad, and everyone was hyped. We're doing, Roach is there, Katie's there. We're doing, it's Christmas time. Oh, it was so Coach and Roach. This is great. So obviously that night, I think I've told this story before, but I saw this with a bunch of my friends that I played music with in high school, and I love those guys, and I would tell this to their face, but we saw it, and all the reactions were very, very blasé. They're like, oh.
Right.
And everyone was that way, and it ruined my vibe so bad. So that Friday I didn't see it. Then on that Saturday I went and saw it with my dad's side of the family, and that was a amazing experience. And there's some mixed in here, but there's my cousin Chandler and my papa Cecil, which would be the last movie he sees in theaters, which is really kind of surreal to think about, because he died 6 months later, so like 7 months later. So it's just like, look at the bags. It's like they were hyping Deadpool. They had the Force Awakens AMC paper bags at that time. They didn't even have tubs. So look at that. I mean, this is everyone. So this is my papa Cecil right here. That's my cousin Chandler. My uncle Ricky with his phone in his face. That's my Aunt Anissa right there. Yes, there's Ricky. And look at the theater, y'all. I mean, this is like, let's see what time it is. This is insane. This is 8:46 in the fucking morning on a Saturday. You will never see that again. Look at that theater. 8:46 in the morning, y'all. It's just not the same anymore.
You don't understand how hard it was to get tickets to this thing. Like that's like I was like I was like afraid that it was going to get spoiled for me because I was going to see it the day it came out at a matinee.
Isn't that insane?
It was insane.
Oh, it felt so special. And like, this is back when, I don't know if y'all had theaters like this or your AMC or wherever you went to, but they had literally 2 areas of concession stands that were running. They had the front entrance, and then each wing had their own concession stand. And that is comparable to Jared's story. You would run to that wing to get your popcorn refilled real quick or your drink filled really quick. And this is an IMAX 3D. Like this is like the screening to go to. We're all there at, it said the time. What was it? I said 8:46 or whatever. So by the time the movie ended, it was 11:42. This is after the movie. That's me and my papa Cecil. And I'm looking college as ever. And we had a great time. And I remember we talked about how much we loved it. And this is such a special memory to me now, That's awesome. There's a photo of all of the grandkids at it as well. But keep going through these. Oh, what the hell? I did not mean to add this.
That one get there.
That's sick. Oh, there's Trey. I guess I saved this. I don't know why, but I guess I saved this when he sent it to me. So there's Trey. That's kind of cool. Here's a great one. So this is that same day, 2:30 p.m. I went with my mom, my roommate at the time, Bryce, my mom, Eric, and then my stepsister, Maddie. So like this was such a big day. And like I remember Shazam, like the app Shazam, listening to music, to tag songs, literally had like Force Awakens ads in there. A ton of apps had that.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Like, it was everywhere.
I now realize we did go. The reason we went to the theater we went to is because it was IMAX.
Oh, okay.
IMAX.
This is long before IMAX was like a hot commodity. Like, I mean, it was important. Don't get me wrong.
It was pretty. It was big.
It was a thing. Yeah.
But it was like it. You're right in that it wasn't like now they're like optimizing shit.
Now you have to see it. You're not going to see the same movie. Like literally, like it's the framing will not be the same. The only scene that I know was shot for IMAX was when Poe has his X-wing moment. And the aspect ratio did change for that scene, where Poe's sweeping through and blasting everyone on Takodana.
Right.
So,
right.
So we'll show some more photos, and then we're gonna skip past this, and we'll bring some of our guests in. I mean, like, there's just things we've all forgotten about collectively. Like, this is an HP like station to get a laptop at Christmas time, and it was just Kylo Ren themed. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if there was any decals on the thing. Like, it's just, it was such a great way of marketing. There's some reason Vader
all those
in it.
Lightsabers too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
it has him 15 times. On
yes, and just TIE fighters, random TIE fighters, and Vader. No prequels. God forbid.
No,
we use a prequel image.
Mention the prequels.
They don't exist. They're terrible. None of them are made.
There's bones are in the desert. All that bullshit. Yeah.
Look at this, man. The limited edition, like
Cover
that
girl.
was. Oh, it's so cool. Mascara. That's me and my grandma. So she's like bedbound now. And she had a stroke like a handful of years ago, so she's not as active as she used to be. But like even then, it's just the difference, right? That's me and my cousins, and that's when I got the BB-8 Sphero, which it's so weird now because now I still use the Sphero balls at my school to teach like robotics lessons. So like this is at my grandma's retirement. So like some things do stay the same and they don't change. And I'm wearing my BB-8 shirt and my Vans and my ill-fitted jeans, hugging my grandma. There it is, the little charging base. I mean, it was such a cool piece. Oh, I made this on let's see. We'll get flagged. But I remember making this Christmas night.
Oh, it must.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome?
Cool.
That was so much. What a special era. I was so proud of all this. And you'll see, like, this is the card Katie gave me. That's literally, we had this framed in our house for the longest time. But like, here's the haul. Like, I'm still 20. You still get Christmas gifts at 20, you don't,
right.
Yeah, people still buy you shit. I'm 30 now, and I know I'm not getting a goddamn thing. I just know it's going to be gift cards to like Olive Garden, and that'll be good enough for me. But like looking at all this,
go to Olive Garden, man. Let's go.
Of course. Gladly. And this is what started my addiction because I think I bought this for myself off eBay. It was the concept art portfolio. That was the thing. And like, that was what people just got me, be it random family members. And I still have these pajama pants to this day. Look at that shit.
Beautiful.
8-bit star. Oh, it's so cool. The portfolio, some shitty Citizen watch or something. Yeah, look at this. The socks, the BB-8 time. Yeah, that I remember that being everywhere. Every magazine cover.
When Person of the Year mattered.
Yes. Wasn't Trump for the third time. This is the first time I ever got the Blu-rays too. Because I only had the DVDs. I never had the Blu-rays. So that was always kind of cool as well. A poster, a fucking tumbler that probably got crushed in the washing machine. Look, that's what Katie, this is really sweet. She said, thank you for letting me be part of your galaxy. I mean, like they were embracing this part of it. It's really sweet. Yeah. And I'm posing with all my toys and all the stuff I got. This is pretty cool. My college had I don't know how it's a license, but it's a Southeastern themed shirt. But I mean, yeah, I'll be done with this. It's just It's such a special time. The pajama pants. That's me, my aunt, my mom. We went and saw it. What day would this have been? This was the 29th. So this is like 10 days later. And this is probably, screening number 7 for me. But man, enough of my memories. I just wish we could go back to, it was so optimistic. And like, I remember like feverishly scrolling through Reddit that night on like the Star Wars like discussion forums about like what everyone thought. And I never forget, like, someone was like, oh my God, the sequel. I know what the sequel's about. It's about the Rathtars and King Prana, which has never been brought up again. The King Prana. Anyway.
Oh, I remember because they were like, oh, King Prana's going to be like the Jabba the Hutt of this.
Yes,
movie,
yes.
Mentioned by Han Solo. Right? Right.
100%. So we're going to bring some call-ins in. We're going to do it one at a time.
Yeah,
the first person, thank you for waiting patiently. The first person we're going to bring in hasn't been on the show in a minute. We can rectify this soon. One of my favorite people, the sweet Southern gentleman that I love. He knows I'm talking about him. I think he does. He's got a nice plaid shirt on. I don't know why we're in plaid tonight. You don't have to get this formal, Nick. Glad to see you again. Let's bring Nick in real quick. It's been a minute, Nick.
Nick, I went very British when I said like Nicky.
Nicky, look at him! What a stud,
boys!
Hey, buddy,
what's happening?
I got to hear your memories because I know you've got some good ones. You have.
And I was thinking about this, and obviously I'm a shit ton older than both of you, and we've been kind of going for the last. Yeah, don't play Jerry. I'm closer to
Nick,
than I am 40. Let's not play around here.
I just turned 30, so
yeah. I don't want to talk about it. We're done. We're done with the age part of the conversation.
We'll kick you off.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with the age part.
Like the old days, we'll force push you, Nick. Like in the BTPD days. Force connect.
Screw this guy. He's old. Get out of here. Yeah, but I have thought about this because obviously this anniversary has been going on, all this year, and it was such a big deal. And I think the biggest things for me, because I mean, in 2015, when this movie came out, like I had 3 of my 4 kids at that point. Like I was in full adult mode, like dealing with a different section of life than you guys were. Like it was a whole different, experience. Things were going on. The things that stood out to me and still stand out to me is the Rolling Stone magazine picture of that cast reading, that first cast reading, the black and white picture.
Yes.
We were looking at that and we were, on computers or whatever we were using at the time, zooming in, like, is that so-and-so? Who is that? I don't know who that just, seeing the people in it and speculating wildly because we had no idea what was going on. Like that was such a big deal to me. And then the other thing I think that just stands out for me was when the trailer dropped. I was remind me, when was the first time the trailer dropped? Was it a Sunday something? Was it a football game?
It was, you're the teaser or the trailer?
See, I don't remember. There was one that happened during a work day, like in the middle of the week or something, because I was go ahead, Jerry. What was it?
No, I was just gonna say, was it the one where like you first see BB-8 and everything, like Finn pops into frame? That one?
I think so. That
was Black Friday 2014.
Black Friday, my man.
Then when that dropped, I was at a meeting for work. I was the executive director of Habitat for Humanity at that point, and I was in Birmingham, Alabama, at a meeting with other Habitat directors, and like the buzz was on Twitter. This thing's coming out. It was this big deal, and I watched it in my car on my phone on Bluetooth, like connected to my Volkswagen Jetta or whatever it was that I was driving at the time. And like, it was just that moment. Like, I remember like it was a rainy day where I was near like this bridge overpass. I don't know why that matters at all, but like the environment where I was parked in this parking lot before I had to go in this meeting and like be a professional adult and do grown up crap. I'm in my car freaking out because I get to see this trailer for this movie on my phone. And even while I'm watching it and hearing it on Bluetooth in my car, I'm also going, I'm watching on my phone. How stupid is that? But like, it was just that big of a deal because certainly as a Star Wars fan of my age, we didn't know we were going to get this. Like, well, that's how we felt about the prequels. And then we get more and, everything we'd seen about it. Like you said, you're putting these, video clips up right here of that that first read through and how big of a deal that was. Like, those are the biggest things that stand out to me. I think I saw it. I wasn't in, I wasn't at the level that you guys were, but I think I saw it 3 times the weekend it came out. I think I saw it twice on Friday and once on Saturday. And it was Star Wars. Like, it felt like we were back. And that's, the biggest thing as somebody who's literally lived with, y'all have lived with it your entire life too. I've just had a longer life than you have. And so going through that and for it to come back, like, it was just,
magical, man. It was magical. And it was the fact that everyone was at different moments of their lives, all having a collective experience. That's all that really matters. Like, I was telling Jerry before we even started, it was like, we were all going through the same shit. Like, do we still like this? Like, I know we love Star Wars, but like, do we still love it? Like, will this still be as good as it was when we were kids? And I will say, after that first screening, I did feel that way. And like, every movie that came out after, you either felt stronger in that way or felt less in that way. And look at all of us. We still spend every Thursday night doing this shit. So I think we all still very strongly about it. Whereas I had peers and friends and even family that like kind of fell off. And that's okay,
And I think there's something to, like, I was at an age, certainly at that point, we didn't start this podcast until 2 years later, 2017, I think. So I wasn't doing that yet. But just as somebody who was older, who had matured, and I hate the term media literacy, but like, I looked at like a trailer differently than I did when I was a kid. Like, if we saw a trailer at a movie theater, we were just like, holy shit, this is what it's going to be. But seeing a trailer as, a full ass adult in 2015, I'm going, okay, great. They cut it together to get your attention. But I went into it going, I don't know what this is going to be. And I love that I didn't lose that. I love that I didn't go into this expecting the movie to be what the trailer was, because that is very misleading. And that's something that we see certainly in this fandom, but in any fandom, when you see Marvel trailers drop and everybody's like, wait a minute, where's that scene of Jen in front of the TIE fighter at the top of the tower that didn't show up in Rogue One, or the thing in the water? Like, okay, great. Choices were made, but it got your ass in the seat, and that's what 100%. It's supposed to do. And if you get yourself there and let the rest of it go, you're going to have a great time. And that's what I think is important. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because now we've gotten to the point where, and this sounds bad, and I don't mean for it to sound bad, but like, they make entire movies just so, not really, but I feel like movies are made now entirely so the post-credit scene can be seen.
Right.
I know it sounds messed up, but like, I watched Captain Marvel 2 kind of not giving a single fuck what happened to any of those characters, because I kept hearing, the post-credit scene's crazy.
By the way, that movie's better than it gets credit for.
Yes, it is. It is. But here I am, like, frothing at the mouth because I'm like, I heard there's X-Men at the end of it. And then there was, which was pretty sick. But like, I hated that I spent a whole movie. And now, with where we're at, with like, we've got a lot of Star Wars, and I'm thankful for it, and I enjoy pretty much everything that comes out. But the feeling that this movie gave at the time, there's just no way it'll ever.
Well, and I think
it's not possible. It'll never get to this
hot take to take away from the Marvel universe in particular is they've trained us to play for the next movie. You go to watch this one to see what the post credit is going to be, because that sets up something else. And you're almost, like you said, you're thinking about that more than you're thinking about enjoying the movie that's happening in the moment. Right? What's it going to be? And it takes you out of it. And I'm glad Star Wars hasn't gotten into, like, you may get to the end of a movie in the credits and you hear a Darth Vader breathe. But other than that, like, we don't need that in Star Wars, because it creates a different element, and it's expectation. Like, y'all have heard me rail plenty about, if you don't like it, don't watch it. If it's not your favorite, there's other ones that are. But at the end of the day, like, let's just enjoy some shit. Like, it's out there. It's fun. There's so much of it. We've had this thing for 10 years now, and I could go put it on right now and be as happy as I was when I saw it 10 years ago.
I completely agree, Nick. Nick, I love you. Thank you for coming by, bud.
Hey, I just wanted to say, hey, I'm glad that it worked out, and I do have a little bit of a toast to raise. Hope y'all are doing well. It's good to catch up. And everybody that's watching,
good to see you, man.
Happy Thursday. Happy Star Wars.
Happy Thursday. Happy Star Wars. Oh, damn.
I threw that.
Scotty threw away the entire bottleneck. Oh, no.
The bottleneck. Nick, I love you. I'll talk to you later, dude. Stay bombad.
See you guys.
Later.
Our next one was only a mere child when this came out, and this is the perspective I'm actually looking forward to the most.
But a twinkle in his father's eye.
Yes, but a glint of sperm. No, but in all seriousness, I am very excited to have this next person on, only because I heard them talk about this on the Force Center call-in show, and it was a great story. And I really do think you must say it here as well, because for me personally, hearing it from you was really kind of awesome. And that is, let me get an appropriate clip for this next person. Hold on, give me one.
You gotta.
I gotta find the right one.
You know. You got something there?
Oh, I got one.
Had a little bit of money, so the Lord did me good. Got all kind of shit. Got the glow sticks. I got the gotcha bag. Got the Hawaiian punch. Man, everybody won't holler at pop what you need. I got it. If I ain't got it, I can find it. You understand? I'm selling glow sticks. Glow sticks that go with the yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, I'm so excited to talk about Fate of the Old Republic tonight. What a great announcement. That's totally what this shit. Wait, give me a second. Sorry.
It's feed.
Title. I'm kidding. Oops. Well, this one.
There we go. All the main characters are here.
Look at
I was looking up. I was frantically looking up Force Awakens images, and I'm like, let's do this one of all the side characters. Why not?
And this is all the box art
Toys.
on
the glove
action
shitto,
figures
the
as
glove
well.
shitto stuff.
This is a good background, Eli. Let's highlight this. Hold on. Everyone, name each one, Eli. We've got.
I can only wait. I think I could get so. I think this is PZ4CO. The
yes,
one is PZ4CO. The second one is the one I was having the most trouble with. I think this is Sarko Plank, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, it is. I just googled it. It is. It is. This is Eloasti right above me because JJ loves his Beastie Boys. I don't think there's a name for that one. I think that's just a soldier of the Guavian Death Gang. And then, of course, as was being discussed in the comments earlier, our Lord and Savior, the Good Constable.
It's so great.
Constable Zuvio.
One thing too, I will say about Constable Zuvio that people
except for
Constable Zuvio.
One thing that people forget about with Zuvio is the reason why Zuvio is so hyped is obviously the toy, but there was an Entertainment Weekly blurb specifically that was separate of everything that came out of Zuvio about how he is in charge of the things that go on Jakku and in that village in particular. And there's a photo of Zuvio. Yeah, you barely see him in the movie, but there's this one particular EW photo of him doing one of those. And I don't know.
I wasn't into I wasn't as hardcore into Star Wars at the time, but I can also imagine the fact that I think he's the first live action Kyuzo.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. Embo's the first one chronologically that I remember, but there's a decent chance that there's one hanging out in Mos Eisley somewhere or something like that I just don't know about or something. But that was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
No, it was. I remember all the Constable Zuvio stuff in the lead up to Force Awakens. One of the only things I remember really well about the lead up to the Force Awakens is Constable Zuvio.
No shit.
Honestly, because he was just fucking everywhere, and then he just shows up for 5 seconds.
Just fucking everywhere.
It's barely, you have to pause it to find him. It's not even he's not even
I'll
on
be honest,
screen.
I still don't know where Zuvio is in TFA, and honestly, I don't blame you. He's not in there for that long.
No, not at all. I want to hear your journey because I know you becoming a Star Wars fan was around this time, wasn't it?
It was just around this time. I think probably I can't pinpoint the exact time, but I'd say it was within a year of The Force Awakens coming out. I'd say probably around 2013, 14.
That's awesome.
But I remember the big thing was for me was discovering, specifically after I'd seen all the films, stuff like that, was discovering TCW. Specifically as it was already on Netflix back in the day, with the release of The Lost Missions, which is
Season 6.
Which is always season 6 of the Clone Wars is one of the most underrated seasons of Star Wars.
It is,
in my opinion.
Yes,
it's my favorite season of that show, and that show is my favorite show in Star Wars. So I have high praise for that season. And I think, and it's really good. Don't get me wrong. But I do think quite a bit of it is because of my nostalgia, discovering when I was homesick from school one day, going through the Clone Wars, specifically season 6. But Force Awakens, obviously. So it was my first Star Wars theatrical experience. It was stunning. Jake and I have been friends for a few years. My co-host on Star Wars and Galaxy. We were incredibly hyped for this film. We both came out of it just stunned that this story got to keep going. That we got to see the continued journeys of Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Han Solo, and of course the generation that came after them. There were just so many moments. Jake and I had a little thing with some friends of ours where we would cheer every time a pre-existing character came on. And of course,
I love this.
Of course, the first time that happened was the Falcon. And like that's not a character, but it felt like the Falcon is enough of a Star Wars mainstay that it felt enough like a character. So we were kind of confused. We started cheering, and then we looked at each other. And we're like, "We cheering for this?" But then as we got on, as Han and Chewie were home, as Leia and 3PO and R2D2 even in power down mode showed up, and then the biggest cheering was of course the very, very end. When Rey finally finds Luke on Octo. It was such a stunning moment. I think somebody else was talking about this on Force Center, on the Force Center call-in show, about like the incredibly bold choice of Star Wars goes out, the logo goes out, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. First thing we see, first bit of information about this movie, Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Yep.
Remember the main character of the last trilogy that's like a cultural icon? So he's gone now. Anyway.
That's the thing with that movie, though, that it was the best way to have Harrison Ford be able to come back and be just the center stage the whole time. Like, I don't know how I would have done it narratively either, without having to divide the time between all these huge actors that set up the original trilogy, you know?
Yeah, and Leia comes in only in the second half of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I think it was Michael Arndt who did an early draft of this film. I remember reading an interview of him talking about every time we wrote Luke into the story, he just ended up taking over the narrative.
Yeah.
And if you look at Last Jedi, of everybody, you know, Kylo Ren has great stuff in that film. Rey has great stuff in that film. Leia has great stuff in that film. That's Luke Skywalker's film. The Last Jedi is Luke Skywalker's film, as it needed to be, because you'd wondered why this guy who was the great hero of the rebellion had just left it all after all this time. But first, of course, you needed to establish the new heroes, the new state of the galaxy, the new everything.
Yeah.
Which this film did in spades. I mean, like, look, I think that as you two and Jared were talking about earlier, like, there's the I was gonna say was like, this film is such a, and I do not mean, like, I'm gonna say something and I don't mean this in a negative way. I actually mean it's a crowd pleaser.
It is. 100%.
It's such a well-made film that has so many things to love in it. I think it is like the safest film of the trilogy. However, that does not mean it takes zero risks.
Of course.
The aforementioned Luke Skywalker has vanished. Take our hero out for the entirety of the film. The defecting stormtrooper, the Rey being forced to rescue herself, really with no help. Like, you know, Han and Luke and Leia all had each other's backs in A New Hope, and them and Chewie and all that kind of stuff were all like, Rey really, like, Finn and Han and Chewie came to Starkiller Base to rescue her. But she didn't know that, of course. And really, she had to do that herself. All alone, with nobody's help, doing a Jedi mind trick. You know, Obi-Wan does a Jedi mind trick in New Hope, and it is the Force can have an influence on the weakest of minds. And it's like, oh yeah, he's an old wizard, he can do that. Rey does it and doesn't even realize she's done it.
Yeah,
Rey does it and has to have explained to her what she just did after she somehow did it.
Yeah.
And that is something that's really, like, those are those, like, distinctions of that film that's like that's just, it was just a wonderful experience. It opened up a golden age of Star Wars that we're still in 10 years later.
So I want to ask you, Eli, just for the sake of asking you, what was your age again at that point? Not if you
I
don't wanna
was.
say it,
I
you don't
just
have to
turned
say it.
12. I had just turned 12.
Phenomenal. That
yeah.
is so. That's amazing. Honest to God.
Yeah. So these were my Star Wars
Perfect.
movies. The Rise of Skywalker came out. I think I was in early high school, maybe it had to be, but like, these were like I'd said like George Lucas's perfect age for watching a Star Wars movie. I made this stuff for 12-year-olds, and I literally turned 12. I think it was around a month before TFA
man, that's
came
so
out.
cool.
So
Well, it was like
So to
such
have
different.
somebody,
No, Sam, I'm sorry. I keep cutting you
I
off.
was just gonna say to have these young people, to have Rey and Finn and Poe alongside me, as the proxies into this film. And yeah, I had engaged in all the theory crafting and all the stuff. Like,
sure,
a lot of people had. Like, I was firmly, after the film ended, I was firmly on. Yeah, Rey's Luke's daughter. That's just how it is. That's I know. Rey was Luke's daughter. In the years following, I had slipped into Darth Plagueis Snoke.
Yeah.
Those were the two I was sticking to. Although Rey's Luke's daughter was like a hard and fast one. Darth Plagueis Snoke was a hey, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm incredibly thrilled that they went with the direction with Snoke. And yes, I mean both Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker's direction that they went with Snoke. And what I think was so like I think I was so attached to Rey as Luke's daughter because I needed that I needed that physical representation of okay, the 80s Skywalker was Luke, the 2000s Skywalker was Anakin, and now the late 2010s, late 2010s Skywalker has to be Rey.
Yeah,
and obviously, like symbolically, that was true. You can look in the Art of TFA book where they talk about like, oh yeah, this is our Skywalker, but the resolution at the end of 9 when she declares herself a Skywalker, it is still, I think, probably my favorite moment of in the entire trilogy, because to have that representation, to have my generation have their Skywalker, to have women have their Skywalker, after almost 40 years of it being just men. Really just meant a whole lot, and I know I'm jumping the gun on all that, but like
no, you're entirely right to say it. You're entirely right to say it, Eli.
This set up such a great trilogy, full of just incredible moments. And I'm really like, yeah, sure, like maybe should they have pushed Rise back a few months just to get things wired down? Should they have had a few more things like nailed down and stuff like that? Yeah, sure. But I am so glad that this is the way Star Wars came out. It came back. This is the way Star Wars came back with these films, as well as Rogue One and Solo. I'm actually like, I'm a weird kind of Star Wars fan like this. I've saw the sequel trilogy in theaters, Scotty, probably less than you saw The Force Awakens in theaters.
That's the thing, but you couldn't. It wasn't like it was like, I mean, now when Mando Grogu comes out, you're driving, you're doing your own thing, you're in college, like,
yeah,
you're in such a different era of your life.
That's also true.
I don't know what if I would have been able to see it,
because I know how many times I saw each theatrical Star Wars movie. I saw each of the 5 Disney films so far, each of them twice, except for Rogue One, which I only actually saw once in theaters. I was pretty discouraged from Rogue One because I found out. I don't know how public I've made this story. I found out a friend of mine got to an early screening of Rogue One. I think maybe even earlier. I think he was like, his parents were like subscribed from like one of those AMC sort of things where you got to see it like even like on Wednesday or something like that. I don't know. And I wasn't scheduled to see Rogue One for like a week and a half or something because I was a noob then and I didn't realize you had to see these things like within the first few days to not get spoiled. Anyway, I was on the bus. I will never remember that. I will never forget this. I was on the bus and somebody asked my friend, who swore to me he wouldn't say anything. And to give him credit, he actually didn't.
Yeah.
But I like kind of put my head down because I wanted to like rigorously avoid anything. And somebody asked him, "Does everybody die?" And I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, but I knew in my heart that the answer was yes.
Oh, 100%.
I knew in my heart, like, if the question had to be asked, and if he was saying it, yeah, everybody was coming out of that film dead.
Ixnade, bye-bye, stay bombad.
So that was, but yeah, no, just it's stuff like that. So that's probably why I didn't go back to see Rogue One a second time in theaters, just because. But no, Force Awakens was huge for me. Force Awakens.
I wanted to ask you this to wrap up
of my Star Wars fandom.
I want to wrap up your point here though, because I think it's important. You really were the we all have very different demographics on screen right now, obviously. In terms of ages, I'm starting college. Jerry's like about to really kick into adulthood.
Married, about to have a kid.
And then Eli's literally a 12-year-old. Like, it's so fucking cool that 10 years later we are still joined together. We can still have these conversations. And even if I saw Eli at a concert or something, or Jerry just in public, and like I could have talked to y'all about this many years later, and the fact that Eli is part of that group of kids that have grown up with it, that will, of course, when the Rey movie eventually comes out, or the Hunt for Ben Solo, or any of these pictures come out, that it's going to be something that's like, it's the continuation of a childhood story for them now. Whereas for me, it was like, oh, I saw it in college, like it was really cool and it changed my life. But like, and then I'm thinking about kids younger than Eli, my students. Like, I mean, like the little kids,
I'm like fascinated by the opinions of somebody who was half my age when The Force Awakens came out. Like, who was like a little girl specifically who was 5 or 6. And got to grow up seeing a female Jedi on the big screen for 4 years straight. Like that must have been incredible.
That must have been amazing.
And
I was so excited after Ellie was born. That was when I was most excited for. And
then when they're in their like late teens or something, whenever Charmin Obed-Chinoy's film comes out, like that will be full circle for them.
Right.
And I did hear it hasn't been getting a lot of press, but like I did see like Daisy Ridley did an interview like a few days ago where she's like, it's gonna be worth the wait. And every time she comes around and says like, hey, it's still happening, that's like just a little shot of dopamine for me, because like that is more than anything, I think probably the Star Wars film I'm looking forward to most. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I think The Mandalorian Grogu will be great. And I'm excited by every detail I hear from Starfighter.
Breaking news. Actual breaking news. Give me one second. Check your phones.
Oh my god. For real.
Holy fuck.
Am I missing something?
Yes, you are. This could be big.
Holy
Hold on.
Holy crap.
I'm getting it pulled up.
I see it. I freaking see it.
Hold on, we're gonna watch it live. Eli will be live with us right now.
Holy shit.
Please be what I think it is. I might actually cry.
Scotty will spontaneously combust.
This is a real trailer that just dropped at the Video Game Awards.
Oh, please look at that Star Destroyer.
I want it back.
Please be what I hope it is.
You want it back.
Please.
The way it was before the Empire shut it down.
Oh?
Massive engines. Lightning fast. Lives on the line.
Oh my god.
The pilots were incredible. Best of the best.
Holy shit, dude!
If I hear the TIE Fighter attack team, I'm going to get down.
United by one beautiful dream.
Where's the clip of Jared saying, I'm gonna come?
No way, dude.
style.
I love this.
Not to overdo this name, but chat, is this real?
Oh!
I'm so glad I got to witness this live on stream.
Oh! Holy fuck!
Holy shit!
Holy fuck!
My boy!
We are live!
Going into this trailer, I saw the name and I said, if there's one thing I want to see from this trailer, it's fucking Sebulba.
God damn,
And then they
Sebulba,
dropped it.
like master.
Dude.
Look at that.
Dude.
Look at that beard.
Although, I feel like the player's kind of screwed now.
Oh.
Because they don't have a chance to win. Because as we know, Sebulba always wins.
Dude, Eli, thank you for joining. We'll
we'll do racer behind it too. Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my!
Holy fuck!
This.
Thanks for Eli.
Well, look, you know what's kind of cool? This is Jakku. So, like 10 years later, we're still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thank you, Eli.
If it was Jakku. It was. Like,
It's gotta be.
I'm gonna
Why
look
does
up all
everyone
the
always
details
go
about
back
this
to
game.
Jakku?
My god, 2 Star Wars game announcements in one night.
Yeah,
I
then
think
this
is the greatest. I think this is the best Star Wars night for Star Wars video games we've gotten in like a long time.
I think so.
It's been a long time for sure.
Wow. Anyway, Eli, thanks for joining, man. That was cool to watch that with you live. We'll get back to Force Awakens talk. Eli.
Promise a live reaction for everybody. You know.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Unless they drop something else when someone else is on there. Eli, by all means, plug EC. We've got some things in the works, buddy.
I'm so excited. This is the final Epic Confrontations match of 2025. Alden Diaz, Michael McCoy in a second match. The first one was actually the second ever match of Epic Confrontations, but now they're back to do it again. This time, 7 rounds to the finish. We made a promo that is up on Blue Sky and YouTube. Maybe another one in the works. Yeah, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're really excited to do this, and then we're going to be setting up. I think I've said this. I think I said this on the last episode of EC, but we're setting up. 2026 will begin with the second ever Epic Confrontations Teams Tournament, which may involve some people on the stream. I don't know. They can reveal if they want to. But yeah, that and then Star Wars in a Galaxy, my own show where we watch all the Star Wars we can get our hands on. This week, I just remembered I need to edit this. Actually, I haven't gotten a chance to. We have a special episode where Jacob and I we do this episode called Character Appreciation Day, where we talk about we love about certain characters. This week's is the Mighty Chewbacca. So we did a Chewbacca centric episode. And then we'll finish the year by finishing out our season on Star Wars Rebels Season 3. But yeah, that's all the stuff. But thanks for having me on. Thanks. I'm so hyped for Galactic Racer.
Oh my god.
My god.
I can't believe that we got Old Man Sebulba. On this
first Beyond Victory. The next this is the year of Sebulba.
The year of Sebulba, my man. The year of Sebulba. I'm excited.
Only took 26 years. Year of Sebulba.
Only. Eli, thank you, my friend. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and take you out. Have a good night, sir. Love you.
Guys.
All right. What is up, everyone? So we've got a few guys waiting back here in the chat, and so we're gonna bring him in. We're gonna bring him in. But let's see. I'm gonna bring our next guest in, and if I'm honest, they are a Claude, maybe.
Kia ora, welcome to the Tim Show. I'm Tim Witter Morrison. Now each week I invite a couple of buddies over to have a bit of a kōrero. We have a bit of a sing-song and I show them some of my postcards from Hollywood. Ooh, and they're looking pretty flash too. I visit the whānau in New Zealand and around the globe, and I even score some A-listers. Now, this week, we've got a Tim Show special. Episode 3, Involvement of the Kiwis. I'm talking Star Wars. We find out how they make us clones. And I catch up with Rena Owen and talk to the producer, Rick McCullum, and talk to the big guy, George Lucas. So, lightsabers on!
All right, let's. Oh, here. Oh my goodness, why am I so big? Oh no. There we are.
Uh-oh, who could this be?
Oh,
If anyone's going to interrupt my yaoi manga reading, it would be Bombadcast.
Oh my God. Okay. Listen. I don't want to ruin someone's good time. Okay. So please continue.
Let me just say to Scotty, I had to frantically try to cover up the speaker of my phone because it's loud as hell, and I live, above my father.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Seeing Saboba was quite the thrill. Carnally speaking. But yeah. I'm happy to see you here, Eric. I want to hear about your Force Awakens memories.
Well, I mean, I've talked about this before, when I had the toys out and Jared was on a stream. But one thing that I really appreciate is seeing everyone's reaction to the build-up, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, after I watched the trailer 10 times in a row. I wanted to see other people's reactions, different channels. I'm a longtime fan of Real Rejects back when Greg Alba called himself Ryan Wright. I was there for when Tyrone Magnus was in a grifter. I was there for this was the reactor age of
it was good. It was
really receptive to it. And not only were they doing that, they were reacting to other people's reactions, and then they were reacting to parodies. There were so many goddamn parodies of the initial Force Awakens trailer. It was insane. You couldn't throw something and you wouldn't bump into something like that. It was just a fun time. And another thing about reactions from reactors from the original trailer, I was noticing how many white reactors would get especially scared when Finn would pop up for the first time.
Yeah.
I was like, that might be something a little more psychological going on right there.
Hasn't gotten better.
Yeah. I mean, of course, most of it is not you're actually hateful. It's just it's internalized from what you absorb.
Yeah.
But as you know, I'm a huge fan of this movie. It's one of my favorite movies, period. And one thing I didn't mention is I remember when I saw this movie for the first time in theaters with my dad. So many of the moments, I remember how I felt and how everyone else was feeling. I remember when Han Solo died and streamers of tears are just going down my face. I could feel it on my neck.
Oh, that's a weird. I know that feeling.
It was
man.
crazy. Yeah.
I was borderline inconsolable, and I was thinking oh, he's dead. I'm what else are we gonna do? I'm they're just gonna leave. I didn't think we're gonna see Luke at all.
Yeah.
I'm just well, you can't get higher than that.
No, you
we just got to get quickly to the resolution. And I appreciate they let the narrative breathe. Even after they blew up Starkiller Base and everyone on the base is celebrating, you have the tender moment of Leia and Rey, who don't really know each other, but just she has that immediate motherly instinct, and of course she's has that grieving. Even though her and Han were a bit estranged, she still loved that man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a kid, and I think the Force Awakens does so many things really well, and I have a discussion a lot with my friends of great legacy sequels, and we've had a lot recently with Top Gun Maverick, Blade Runner 2049, but the Force Awakens is within the top 5 of just how do you make a legacy sequel to arguably one of the most important franchises and unique franchises of all time, and how do you do that effectively? And everyone has their own thoughts and opinions, but at the moment, I mean, it was pretty unheard of to be able to do that effectively, We hadn't seen that before. I mean, literally Tron Legacy 5 years before that, but even then didn't have as big a following as Star Wars did. You know, like
I mean, Tron
count.
is one movie before they get to a Legacy sequel.
Yes, and then we've got 6 movies you're coming off the tail end of with The Force Awakens, and how do you nail it? And like, I don't know.
And
So you would have been
7 theatrical movies.
Yeah, exactly. So would
Well,
you are, I don't remember your exact age. I don't know if you even want to share that. But how old
I'm
were
fine with that. I'm 28 now. Back then I was 18.
God, that must have been cool.
I was just coming out of high school when the movie was coming out. And like I was already an aficionado on the movies. Like I mentioned last time, like I was introducing all the movies to my little brother who hadn't seen them, because every waking moment on the TV, it would have a TV spot commercial for.
This TV spot, Eric.
Like I can't tell you how many times I've heard Daisy Ridley say "I'm ready" while pressing some goddamn buttons on the Millennium Falcon.
God, I actually, let's pull up one of those TV spots real quick, because those TV spots really were something special. Hold on. First Force Awakens TV. Like I'll never forget, that's when you still, this is the crazy, this sounds like, I will sound like an old woman. That's when people still watch TV. Like now like I haven't used cable TV.
Right.
Probably since like I was in a hotel room like a year ago. You'd be like I
since I moved out of my parents' house, I had it.
TV.
Yes, like
or what was it? They do like Fire Stick or whatever. Like most people don't have like package cable anymore. Like that's a dying breed.
God, but then it was like, and that's the thing. You can still go to like if you go to like a not like a sports bar, but any bar that's got TV and things going, like you'll still see like
or you go to the country
TV spots. Yeah, but like. Here's for the first TV spot. Like, this is the original
I have
one.
lived long enough to see the same eyes in different people. I see your eyes. I know your eyes.
That shot's not even in the movie. Wow.
Follow me.
Neither is that one. Hold on. Okay, this shot is not as long in the movie.
Which one are you talking about?
Watch. This one is not as long in the movie. It's not that long. It's a little bit shorter. The other shot that's 100% not in the movie is, I love this one's in the movie. I love that shot. That one's in it. I don't think this shot is in it at all.
Right before she hits them?
Yes, I don't think.
Maybe the hit is in there.
No, it's not.
The hit is, but this shot right before she hits him is certainly not in it. Because I think you see the whole thing of BB-8 over the net. She goes and checks him, pulls him out, and then she beats the shit out of this guy. Right. I don't think that shot's. And the other shot I was freaking out about was this. It's not as long. I know it's not as long. This is before she reaches to go grab Finn. This is long. I think. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's her looking at BB-8. This is totally not in the movie, though. That exact shot.
Yeah, that's not in the movie now.
So, like that's the thing. We were doing this 10 fucking years ago, and we're still doing it now. Like like some things just don't change, you know. Like I love these TV spots because they did have the like you're in between watching something on TV and just these little beautiful snippets of the movie would pop up, and you can speculate on them.
We have these shots that don't show up in the movie at all, not even the deleted scene package.
Yes,
maybe we should bring back the Abrams cut before Force Awakens.
Another one I remember. I don't know if you remember this one, Eric, but they had the international trailer that was like had all the Chinese, or maybe it was kanji, but like it was all the writing at the bottom of it that like it was just. I remember watching this and thinking like, oh, Star Wars is so much more international than I give it credit for, and like I'm glad you brought the TV spots. I had honestly forgotten about how good these TV spots were. They were really remarkable. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Jesus. What a time to be alive. Man, I miss this.
We'll stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
Do you ever any other memories you want to share around this, Eric, before we move on to the next set of people?
I mean, I remember, you know, my dad had already seen the movie when he took me, and like we would go outside, and he kept every time we would go see the movie again, because I think in total I saw it 5 times in theaters.
Yeah.
My dad would keep joking around saying that he's gonna go to the parking lot and shout, "Han Solo is dead!"
Man, it affected all of us. It really did.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, that's a real good movie. Especially the first
like
week.
the Bible.
Yep. No, I love that, Eric. I love that, you know, again, I said this earlier when Nick was on, but like we're also connected by what this era was like. That I feel like now, you know, with all these other things that have came out, like it won't be as universal. You know what I mean? Like maybe you didn't like Ahsoka.
I was already a lover of Star Wars, but like this starting off with this movie in the Disney era of films, like made me like obsessive. Like
of
truly
course.
obsessive. Like,
Yeah.
I was already one of the kids that had all the toys, but I wasn't even trying to get into all the lore up until like maybe around Last Jedi came out. I was like, oh, what's going on with those caretakers? I want to know more about them.
Yeah. That's when it got deeper. I feel that. I totally feel that. Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you coming on. By all means, plug what you got going on with Honest to Claw, dude. We got to get Jared on the show, man. What are we doing?
Jared's got to go.
Somehow I send out a Instagram DM to Jared or Eli, and nothing happens. I try to hit him up on Facebook. They're just like, "Oh, you're here." Like, God damn it! I contacted you 3 months ago. But anyway, check out Honest Claude. I got a recent video with a cosplayer. I had some fun, and I don't want to eat up more of your time. Have a good night.
Oh, Eric, we're glad to have you here, man. We'll come back and have you on Bombadcast proper to talk. It's been awesome, and we'll look at your art again. So, thanks for coming by, Eric. And
if I'm not here for the discussion on Last Jedi, like y'all have failed as far as the anniversary.
We will have you. We will have you for that, guaranteed. 2 years from now, okay?
Yeah, I'm like, it could be a situation. I'm like, Eric, your grandma's sick, and she's like, I gotta talk for like 10 minutes on this podcast.
Have to.
Hey, there you go.
Eric,
all right, buddy.
Stay Bombad, dude.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Okay. Our next wonderful person, thank you, Eric, for joining in. We're going to bring in our boy, Chris. Steve, you're going last. So you're going to wait a minute. So let me get a good song for Chris. Here you go, Chris.
Here's that rainy day they told me about, and I laughed at the thought.
There we go. There we
go. That was a really
Chris.
wonderful video of you singing, Scotty. I really.
Hey, you're welcome.
really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Chris, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, bud. For real.
I know, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Maybe since Claire's wedding?
Probably.
Maybe.
Chris has been popping onto Hyperfocus, you know.
Yes, I did see that.
And so, yeah.
Man, the last time I saw Chris, my nuts were hurting because Charlie punched them. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, yeah, that was Charlie. My eye was hurting because Charlie whipped me in the eye with his tie. And it was hurting for like 15 minutes. And I honestly thought I was going to have to leave the reception to go get my eye checked out.
A drunken mess, man.
Oh, he was acting like he was a bloke from Liverpool, you know. What do?
Yeah,
well,
he
right,
sucks, but that's all right.
Anyway,
he does suck sometimes.
He was here a minute ago. I don't know if he's still here.
Chris, we
He
gotta
probably saw
know.
me, but I was here and left. That's most likely what happened.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Chris, we gotta know, what was this like for you all these years ago? 10 years ago, Chris Swift.
10 years, I know. I can't even count
Unreal.
to 10, so it's really hard for me to call. But no, I'm so excited to talk about this movie because The Force Awakens is my favorite movie.
Numero uno. That is
Numero uno,
it.
period.
I love that.
Like nothing else compares. It's
Yeah.
number one. And which is so funny. I literally made notes
Oh, bring it up.
No, I'm gonna go through them
okay.
one by one. Don't worry. Because they're just nonsensical. So I'm gonna go through them one by one.
Let's hear them then. Let's
the
get it
points I
going.
wanted to make. Okay, so first thing, favorite movie. To start with that point, going into it, you're all talking about like the hype and everything, and like how all and Force Friday and the trailer and the teasers and how excited you were and all this stuff. And I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. Watched watched the prequels when they were coming out as a kid. Grew up with the original trilogy on VHS. The whole thing. I thought the sequel trilogy was a terrible idea. Yeah, I was not excited.
Nope.
I've never been a J.J. Abrams fan. Didn't think bringing back the old cast was a good idea. Was really annoyed when I found out they were bringing back the old cast. They were going to bring in a new generation of characters to focus on. Just thought the whole enterprise was just doomed.
You're like, this is it. We're cooked.
Oh, this is it. So I'm like going to open, but I'm like, I'm still gonna see it opening night. It's Star Wars, whatever. So I go and I'm like pouting the whole time. I'm like being a little bitch, and then I just started to, and it just like I can't even describe it. It just like came over me like a wave, and I was so enamored with it from like the minute I saw it. I was just like, oh, this is. Especially like I grew up reading a lot of the EU books and stuff, and I was a little kind of pissed they discarded that fully, and which is silly in retrospect. But I remember watching the movie and being like, "Oh, never mind, this is way better." Yeah,
it's a lot better than what I thought. Yeah,
of course.
But like
the King Piranha.
Yeah, the King Piranha.
No, but what was there a particular moment, Chris, where it was like?
Where I was like,
shit, I'm loving this. Yeah.
Honestly, like the crawl, just like the
crawl.
Like, Eli made a point that they really, this movie, everyone says they played it safe, and in some respects they did, but there are some swings in this movie, and a lot of them are introduced to the crawl. And I was like, oh. Like I was so taken aback by like Luca's vanish and what Leia's up to, and she sent this daring pilot who we're gonna meet in the opening scene, and like the whole thing was just set up so well, and I was just immediately locked in, even before we met any of the characters, and then we met the characters who I was initially annoyed about having this new generation being the focus, thinking I can never love them as much as I love the original characters. And I was so wrong because I love them just as much. And with these movies, I don't have to choose. I get both of them because the original players all have significant roles to play in this story.
Yeah.
So throughout the three movies, so it really just was like the best of everything for me. Like I got everything I wanted, especially in this first movie. It's really hard. Action adventure movies are also like notoriously hard to write. People think of them as like schlock, and oftentimes they are because they're hard to pull off because you need to blend character development with with continuous action for 2.5 hours, and that's really difficult. Thinking of set pieces and how they inform what the characters are up to and what each of them are doing, how they play as pieces on the chessboard, and how that advances their arcs. And TFA just does that really well. It's like it's fun and swashbuckling, but it also is really thoughtful and has great arcs for all of its central characters and sets up further development for them through the other movies. So it's just a miracle of a film.
It really is. It's a perfect legacy sequel. And I wanted to ask you about the moment that you fell in love with it, because it reminded me of the moment I fell in love with it. And it's the same one that Alex Damon says in Star Wars Explain all the time, and it's the one where you see Finn and Poe in the TIE Fighter. Like that was like, I was like, I remember going, oh shit, like we are actually back, like that, because it was so energy was so right. Them blowing up the things inside the Star Destroyer, like I was like, this is ridiculously cool.
But again, blending the action with the character development, it's like it's fun and it's swashbuckling and things are blowing up and the score is swelling and you're having a great time. But also their interaction in the cockpit, especially during that sequence, is really moving because it's the first time that someone has ever treated Finn as like a human being.
Right.
And Poe is like kind to him, like does no reason to trust him, but is kind to him and like offers, like gives him a real name. And it's like, it's really smart writing and it's really powerful in addition to being just like fun. So yeah, I love it. And it also which leads to my other point that I want to make, is that it has my favorite John Williams score. Is the
dude.
Ray's theme is my favorite piece of music ever written.
Okay, were you one of the people that after were you like the score wasn't that good, and then you saw it again, you're like, I'm a fucking idiot for saying that, because I was one of those people. I remember seeing the movie, buying the score on a CD, and thinking the entire time, like, the score just doesn't hit as hard, until I bought that CD, listened to it in my Honda Civic, and I was like, nope, I'm dead wrong. Like, Ray's theme just...
I was gonna say, I think that the moment that I realized that I was like listening to it, taking like garbage to the dumpster of our apartment complex through the snow, and I had to like walk through a couple like back roads and stuff and everything, and just like the silence and solitude of a snowy night with that playing was the first time I think I realized, like, oh, this is really special.
Yeah, dude.
Really wistful, and like, yeah, it was just, yeah. And I was just carrying fucking garbage, you know? But I felt like I was like on my way. I feel like I was going to get some portions from Unkar Plot, you know?
Yeah. I was not actually like took in the score a lot the first time, weirdly.
That's awesome.
And was really able to appreciate it. It was the one thing I wasn't wrong about, so don't feel bad that you felt like an idiot, because I was an idiot about literally every other aspect of the movie. But I also recently got to see The Force Awakens in concert, so I got to see my favorite film score of all time performed live, and that I drove 2 hours to see it each way, and I was like, but like I didn't even think about it. I was like, psh. And the last thing I wanted to say, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through everything, because
you're doing a great job, because you brought some things no one else has discussed yet. I love this.
So just forgive me for rambling, but the last big thing was so I had a very special connection with Poe as a character. I mean, he's my favorite character. I love him dearly for many, many reasons. But one of the reasons was I'm 20 years old. I walked out of the theater, and my first thought about Poe was like, did anybody else get a little bit of a gay vibe? You know?
Finn Poe, baby.
Yeah, but it really hit me in a way. And I was so relieved to find that it was like a huge cultural thing, and that I wasn't like imagining it, you know? And I grew up, Jerry, I keep getting sentimental on your podcast lately, and I usually don't do that, so I apologize. But I grew up without any like queer peers or elders or community. Like, it was very isolating, and I wasn't out when The Force Awakens came out.
Oh, okay.
And so it was, I had no community around it. It was really hard. And so even though they didn't eventually go that direction in The Rise of Skywalker, obviously, with making Poe queer, and they went the opposite direction, and we don't have to get into that, even though it was obviously cruel and terrible.
Yeah.
It, at the time when the first two movies were coming out, the cultural discussion around it, and then Oscar insisting repeatedly that he thought of Poe as queer and that he should be portrayed as queer, was the first time that somebody I personally looked up to made me feel like it was okay.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it was really important in my journey of coming out to kind of have that. So so this movie is really special to me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm fucking crying. It's really special to me for a lot of reasons. Most of them within the world of fiction and storytelling, but that there was also a real world impact and implications of it as well that were really important.
Well, you identified with everything, you know, like there's something to be said about, like, obviously finding yourself and a sense of who you are in a movie, number one. And that doesn't happen often. Like, really, it doesn't. Many people want it to happen as much as possible, and it just doesn't. Whereas when a movie can do it naturally, especially one that you put your barriers up for, you weren't ready to watch this shit. You know, and the fact that it broke through not only, you know, in terms of a fan, but emotionally and of course even down to your identity is just phenomenal, Chris. I mean, that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's a testament to what this movie was designed to do, and it was to really bring everyone back and fall in love with this world again. And you know, I don't know where we would be if we didn't have this movie. Really, all of us. I mean, I obviously wouldn't know you, Chris, and I wouldn't know Jerry, and this chat wouldn't exist. And it's just
you should be so lucky.
Yeah, like we would all be successful. Probably all be crypto millionaires. But
probably,
yeah.
It's
like, I would have been mining like crazy.
Look what you robbed us of.
Yes, damn it. No, but Chris, I'm so glad you came and talked to us about this stuff because it's hard to be vulnerable about a movie, and not many other people will be able to understand that unless they lived through it and experienced it too. And look, all the people I saw this movie with at the time, I'm sure you could say the same, and Jerry can say the same. Like, it was just a movie for some people, but for a lot of us, it was it sounds so cliche, but it was a true reawakening. Like, it really did, ignite something I never knew could come back. And, everyone's like, Star Wars is, people treat it like a religious experience, but, most people just don't understand that, the true impact of community and those kind of realizations that you had, Chris. It's hard to put into words, people that just don't understand that's what a film can do for you if you're open enough to it. So
a good movie can change your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
this
vulnerable.
One absolutely did. It was a really special, experience the whole way through. And most of the school trilogy journey was just great for me. And I love those movies for the most part. And I just, I'm just really glad you guys did the stream and then you let me come on and ramble and talk about it.
Anytime.
You spoke very eloquently, and I'm very glad that this came to you when it did.
Yeah. Well, if you ever wanted to come on, Chris, you're more than welcome to just have a whole topic with us. Don't think you're not special enough to earn that. Yeah, just shoot us a text. Chris,
I will take you up on that at some point. I promise.
Yeah, baby. Chris, thank you for coming by. As always, stay bombad. We'll talk to you soon. I don't know if you want to plug anything. I don't know if you have anything you're working on right now. I have no idea.
Yeah. So here's where you can find me. Nowhere. Leave me alone. Fuck you.
That's right. Stay bombad, Chris Swift. That's why we love you.
Exclusive presence of Chris Swift.
Right here. I love that guy. Okay. We've got another wonderful person. One of my favorite people in the space. We've done his podcast a couple of times. I've had one of the best conversations about Star Wars in general with my buddy, Brennan Marr. This is a good one for Brennan. Here we go, Brennan.
I wanna do a little number for you now.
Well, that's an introduction.
Yes!
What's up, Brennan?
Hey, hello, guys. I just want to piggyback off what Chris is saying. Anybody who says that Vel from Andor is the first queer Star Wars character, I don't know what franchise you've been watching.
No, they've been watching it from underneath a rock, Brennan. Is where
Well, a lot of the Andor fans, that's how they are.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Anyhow, I have a lot of memories of seeing this the first time. I had just turned 30 when it came out. Which is scary because some of the kids I used to teach at church now have children of their own.
There we go. I'm understanding that.
It's a scary thing. I remember the build-up to it. I mean, I was excited. And I was definitely on the Plagueis hype train. Which, honestly, I'm glad I was wrong about that.
Me too. 100%.
Because I just don't think that would have worked, really. I tell you what, the moment for me, I remember seeing the movie. Opening day, I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning. At the AMC in San Jose.
Nice.
I got there an hour early to get to my seat. I remember the movie starts, and immediately I'm like, okay.
Okay.
The moment when Rey takes off her mask and slides down that sand hill with the great John Williams music was the moment I went, I think they did it.
Yep, that was it. I agree.
I was talking to Ken Knapsack the other day about the fact that they sort of stopped all the sound so that you could just hear the score. And that's a very great maneuver on the part of J.J. Abrams.
Oh, yeah.
to trust that John Williams' score can speak for itself.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, I'm like, oh, that score wasn't memorable. Then I started listening to it. And wait, what am I talking about?
You know what's funny, Brendan? This is for me pre like Spotify or pre Apple Music, where like streaming music was a popular way to listen to music. And this was like, and this sounds so old person now. We had to go out and buy the CD, but like,
buy it at the store.
Hey, Grandpa, I was buying it on iTunes still, but I just didn't.
Oh, you were?
Put it on iTunes, I think.
I got it at the store, then I ripped it to my iTunes. But like, what I have such vivid memories of is like Kylo Ren's theme, then being something that I was like, oh, I like that. Like I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's almost like the inverse of the dung dung dung. Like it's like everything kind of counters itself, right? But I love that you bring that up because there's very few moments in Star Wars where it's like it's just like a short film within itself, you know, like Luke's twin son moment feels like a short film, you know, like in A New Hope. Like it just feels very isolated, feels very its own. That Rey introduction, the whole thing to when she's looking up and she, you know, at the, you know, broken down AT-AT and like looks at the ship taking off, eating her weird bread thing. Yeah. Like I just like that was like a series of like maybe 4
just 5 minutes, no dialogue.
Yes.
Rey. No dialogue.
Yes. Yeah. 1/4 portion.
And yet you know everything you need to know about her in those 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
It's its own mini movie, and I gotta say the introduction of the new characters, JJ nailed it. He nailed it. Also, I gotta say, I mean, I think that this and Empire Strikes Back are Harrison Ford's best performances he's ever given.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where's his Oscar nomination for The Force Awakens? Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I remember I had a feeling that he was going to die in the movie. And at first I went, I saw that coming. But the more I thought about it, the more I've heard people talk about it, especially our friends Ken, Joseph, and Jennifer talk about it, the more I realized that was perfect.
It was perfect.
Right.
Particularly with a detail that I didn't pick up on until recently. Even though Ben Solo has just stabbed his dad still touches him on the face affectionately. I mean, just a little gesture like that.
It's amazing.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize that that was the perfect ending to Han Solo, because Han Solo died not being Han Solo, not being the face of Han Solo, not being the made-up person that he created, but genuinely being the real character behind the mask.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. And I think a lot of people maybe misunderstand Han Solo as a character. Because they think the mask of Han Solo is Han Solo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
but
case.
having him have those vulnerable moments where he's really just himself. Like I said, where is Harrison Ford's Oscar?
Well, like, I think you bring up a good point. Because at the time when these movies were coming out, we knew there was going to be a Solo movie, like a Han Solo movie, you know? And, like, you have this really cool duality of that scene, the Force Awakens, you know, Han's death scene, was also co-written by Lawrence Kasdan's son. You know what I mean? So, like, they worked on that scene together, and that had to have been an emotionally charged thing to write with your dad. And then later, you know, 3 years later, there would be a full-on movie about just Han as a character. And, like, all those things to me always felt that they were taken into consideration on, like, okay, you know, not that The Force Awakens and, you know, Solo the movie aren't like companion pieces, because they certainly are. But the fact that you got to see a character's beginning and a character's end, and you don't see that often in Star Wars. We've seen that with Luke and Leia and Han, and that's about it, if I'm not mistaken.
Anakin.
Like,
Yeah.
and but the thing is, Anakin still at 10 years as a little kid. Like, you don't see
That's
Anakin's.
true.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like, we see Leia's birth, we see Luke's birth. We don't see Han's birth, but we see Han as a young man, so he's closest thing to Anakin. You know, like we truly see the birth of Leia and Luke and the death of Leia and Luke, and that's a pretty profound thing. I don't know if I can even think of any other characters, but I agree. And yes, 8898884M.
Brady.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Brady's gonna change that damn screen name at some point. Anyway, there is a total duality, and I think it's really important to acknowledge that what we see there, of course, shows back up in The Rise of Skywalker and done even, not better, but like done to the nth degree. It's a memory of a thing that changed your life, you know? I don't know, Brennan. I don't know what else you want to add to it, but I love what you brought up so far, man.
And I gotta say, what you were saying, Scotty, the joy of the community of Star Wars.
Oh, it's the best.
And I just said I didn't know you guys back then. That would have been awesome.
Same, right?
But when it comes to the joy of Star Wars community, I won't give away anything. But the two of you and a few friends of ours are going to be expanding on that.
Yes.
At some point in the future. If you know, you know. So everyone stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Right. That's right.
Stay
I
tuned.
won't
Stay
give away
Bombad.
anything, but if you know, you know.
That's right. Brendan, I don't know if you want to add anything else. We got one last caller we're going to bring in because it's running late for us.
Yeah, well, no, I'll give the time over to our buddy Steve.
That's right. The one and only. Brendan, if you want to plug anything for Page Turners, by all means, I'll give you the floor, bud.
Well, you can just follow me at Page Turners. They were not Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. I've got some episodes, of course, with these two gentlemen. And certainly need to have you guys on the show again before too long.
By all means. You know we'd love that. You know we'd love that as
But,
always.
yeah, I don't really have anything coming up necessarily, but there's always possibilities.
Always.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Brennan. We appreciate
You're
having
welcome.
and hanging out with us and waiting patiently in the back for us. And our next guest.
And I cannot wait till we get to hang out together at Celebration.
We're going to do it LA big time, dude.
And go
It's
check
gonna
out
happen.
Lucas's new museum, of course.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Catch you
Bye,
guys later.
Brennan. Stay bombed, buddy.
Brennan, love you, my friend. Have a good night.
See you later, dude. We're going to bring in our last guest for the night. I'm sorry, we don't want to take any more calls, only because it is getting late for Jerry and I. It's currently 11:30 where he's at, 10:30
I'm
where
sleepy.
I'm at. EB boy. This next one, we're bringing in the one and only producer Steve with his very own exclusive clip.
Avant que ce soit l'émeute et que tu me piques la vedette. Bon allez, salut à tous et à bientôt pour un nouveau Fréquence Kong. Ouf, un peu plus, c'était lui la star. Je l'ai échappé méga belle.
On a eu l'échappée belle. Frôler l'amour de peu. On a eu l'échappée belle.
And he's muted. I like that. We can't hear him breathe. Yes! What a stud. I love producer Steve.
Yeah.
Yo, look at this handsome dude right here.
Oh,
Oh,
you're too kind. You're too kind. It's funny you say that because that's that moment when talking about the favorite things from The Force Awakens.
Oh, dude.
When Kylo Ren takes that helmet off for the first time in front of Rey, I swear to God, I still aspire for my wife to look at me the same way that I looked at Adam Driver in that moment.
I'm telling you, I think every man was like,
It was like,
oh,
he's
kinda cool.
the hair came off, and he somehow had Disney princess hair, but also looked
of
like
course.
Prince Eric
Yeah.
from Little Mermaid.
Yes. Yes.
All at once. It was like, ooh, okay.
Steve, I got to hear your thoughts because I don't know what your life was like 10 years ago, but I know you're like, have a kid. Like, I know things have changed. What was that like 10 years ago? Where were you at? What age were you?
Totally different stage of my life. I was a few years out of college.
Okay.
I was, a year or two into my first like big boy job out of college. My now wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, had been living together for like a year or so, right?
That's awesome.
So I was just kind of like, kind of getting my shit together as a young man, in the world. I was college educated, ready to go, full of piss and vinegar, and that's kind of where I was at the time. Yeah.
God, that must have been awesome. What like when it came down to it, what are your like biggest memories of just this era for you personally?
I also made a list. So
give it to us, Steve.
And I know you guys got to go late, so I'm going to make this quick. Okay, I promise.
No. Take your time.
No. We love lists. We love lists.
We love lists.
I came prepared, is all I'm saying, so I won't ramble too long.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, like aside from it, here's the thing with Star Wars. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You can see like all this shit behind me. But as a kid growing up and everything, like I was so one of my most favorite things about The Force Awakens coming out was the and was just like it, dude. It was okay. Like we were able to come out of the cave and into the light, and it was like I wasn't gonna get like punched in the side at lacrosse practice for liking Star Wars. You know what I mean? Because it was like it was kind of cool all of a sudden.
It
wasn't. You know what I mean? So so there was a whole different world about it, and so I love that. But like the announcement of like Disney buying Star Wars, the announcement of the first teaser trailer, like as bad as it sounds, those are like places you kind of remember where they were as if they were like tragic moments in the news.
9/11.
You know what I mean? Like I know where I was where 9/11 happened. I know where I was like when so and so like some horrible thing happened. I know where I was when I looked down and saw that Disney had just bought Star Wars and holy shit they're making a sequel to Return of the Jedi, and I just like started running around my college apartment. So it's like
right.
It was insane. But other than that, I remember like I love like the little, everyone's talking about like all the big stuff, right? Like the first teasers. So I want to give you guys like some like the little juice, right?
Give us.
I still have an aluminum foil wrap somewhere in the back of my like kitchen that's like has Captain Phasma on it, right?
Shut up.
One of those. Oh fuck yeah! Because you always have one of those like kitchen things that just like lives in the back somewhere that doesn't get used, or just your aluminum foil lasts like forever. There's still a Last Jedi Captain Phasma, like it's either aluminum foil or like Reynolds wrap or some shit like that, right? All having like all the little Ziploc baggies. I was a sucker for all of that shit. If me and my girlfriend
I remember
were
those
walking around the grocery store, I don't know how many cereals that I don't even eat, but I did eat because they had Ray and BB-8 on the front of it, right? I was just because I just love that. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. We're here, we're back. Like this was the 10 years between Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakens was an eternity compared to the last 10 years. I feel like. You know what I mean? That's just because we're all older and time is a black hole of space, and there was also a pandemic and all that shit. I get that, but just like I just want to go back, man. 2015 was just so much warmer and cozier, and we were all nicer.
Like we talked about earlier, there was that hope in 2015. That I'm sure it's out there. It's somewhere. It's
maybe
around.
It's like we need a new one. I don't know.
I forgot about these. I remember these, dude.
Yes. Oh, look at these Ziplocs, my man.
There was a 3PO and BB-8 and R2.
There was, yes.
I think so, yeah.
The flame trooper who only has like a single shot in the whole movie. It's a cool shot, though. Hold on. Where's the BB-8? I know exactly what you're talking about. And I know they bring it up on Force all the time, the BB-8 oranges or whatever it is, Satsumas or whatever they call them, the BB-8 fruits back in 2015.
Like
the little mandarins.
Yeah, little mandarins.
oranges.
Yep, there they are on every pack of oranges you could get. I'm sorry, you can see it right here.
I want the BB-8 oranges.
I want the BB-8 oranges, Dad. I mean, like, such a cool time. Like, you bring up a good point. I haven't really considered like the really small marketing tie-ins. I know we showed the like CoverGirl mascara, but like these were really weird ones. The Ziploc
This is
bags.
really obscure. Ziploc.
They went everywhere because they knew idiots like me were just going to be like sitting there walking down the aisles. But should I get the regular Ziploc bags or should I get the Ziploc bags with the stormtroopers
My
on?
sandwich has Kylo
Obviously,
Ren.
I'm gonna get the ones with the stormtroopers on. I'm like, this isn't hard. Like they catered to our millennial minds, and this was 2015 when those of us who were in the working world, it was back when rent was $2,000 instead of $3,000.
Exactly. Oh man, what a special time! No, that's a
disposable
good thing
income, kids. It was great.
It was awesome. Reusable snack bags. What are these? So great.
But I had two more storyboards on my notes that I just wanted to get to because I don't want to keep you guys too long.
You're good.
We can believe me, we can go through all the merchandise all day if you want. This was also the first experience I had with my father and drugs together.
I like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made a huge
Living
deal of
another
like going to the movie, right? I was like super pumped for this. I was like Morgan Freeman in the Batman movie when like the tickets were coming out. I had so many windows and screens and phones open to just because I was trying to reserve 10 tickets on the balcony for like a whole group of people, right? And I nailed it. Like I got it. We got it done. But so it was like a big deal. So I had like people from 2 hours away drive up to come see this movie with me. And that included my dad and one of my good friends from growing up. And so I had made some brownies for the occasion that I had planned to give, to our group of friends who were going to the movie as a treat that we would, kind of get at the bars, happy hour before we went to the movie. And so as we're like kind of getting ready to leave my house, my dad and my friend, like we met up at my place with my girlfriend, and like, oh hey, Dad, just want to let you know, like, do you want a brownie? Like I'm eating a brownie, Brad's eating, like, do you want a brownie? He's like, oh yeah, sure, a brownie. I'm like, hold on, like, do you want a brownie?
These are special brownies.
I was just like, that's all I said. And he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh yeah. I just looked at my, I looked over at my buddy. I was like, oh,
father
hell yeah.
wanting to get high with me. That's great.
It was the great experience. So that's that's like one of the things I associate The Force Awakens with, was the first time I got absolutely stoned off of my ass with my father.
So screening number 1, you were baked for.
Oh yeah, I was high out of my mind.
That must have been that must have been an awesome, but also a pretty wild watch. I would have been emotional.
Well, the only down thing was,
Here we go.
I had to pee in the first 10 minutes because, like I said, we went to happy hour. So I was going to piss my pants. Like I was like, no, I can do this. And then as soon as like Finn started walking around the desert, I was like, I feel like I can go pee. And so I just booked it and like I went out, and that was the quickest pee I ever had. Came back, and he was like in the water or whatever, or around then, right? He was like right walking around the station. I was like, okay, I feel like I didn't miss too much. And I went back and saw the movie again the next day. But
what would you have missed? Would you have just missed him wandering into the village?
I think there was a scene in between. I think there was a scene in between, like him starting to wander around and then him actually getting to like the settlement. No, I mean maybe that's it, but I think that was it. Because I don't think I missed anything else.
Back to the Star Destroyer, right?
Maybe
it must cut back to maybe that's
Yeah.
it. Not a bad time to actually leave. You left at a very good time. That was smart, dude.
There was not a moment to spare.
So you were baked and you had to pee? That would have been so overwhelming. I don't know what I would have pissed my pants.
And I was also like hosting this group of 10 people, right?
Yeah, of
I
course.
Put together this whole, you know what I mean? I was like holding court for like 10 people like at this place, and we like organizing all this shit, and then I just hopped over the railing, ran out.
When did you feel, because I mean, I'm not going to divulge just for the sake of my job and my career. When did you feel it come on, and was it good vibes?
Oh, it was incredible.
Okay, good.
First time I saw The Force Awakens was the greatest movie theater experience I've had in my life.
I love that.
I
love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's not even close. Like between like the love of Star Wars, the experience with Pops, with my friends, with the whole crew, like everything we got to do, like the nostalgia behind all of it. I loved the movie. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Yeah, it was like what better it was a time of hope and optimism. Like, for the love of God, what more could you ask for?
My other question too is like, when you ate it, what was the time before the movie? Like how much of a buffer did you have? So you took it
hour and a half.
Dude, so you had a lot of time for that stuff to settle in.
Here's what you do. So here's what I did. So I had a brownie before we left, right? It was
Take notes, kids. Take notes.
Theater. So you left. So we went to happy hour for an hour before the movie. So
and
then we got into the movie, and then I had them in my pocket, and so I downed that one and the walk from the bar to the movie theater. So that way I was pretty
exercise metabolism.
I was pretty baked by the time the movie started, but then also it kind of carried me through like that second wave. So then I made sure I was really sleepy when I got home, but
I couldn't even imagine.
I went home and we watched A New Hope, and it was like it was a whole
Oh,
that's awesome.
Oh, Steve, that's a great memory, man. Because like I have vivid memories of how I felt during my first screening too, and everyone's always brings up the Han Solo thing, which I thought obviously was a very incredible moment to experience collectively as a fandom. But mine was hearing the new Cantina theme. I don't know why. I thought that was a pretty awesome.
How was that on a brownie, by the way? That had to be like top 10, like I'm listening to the Doobie Brothers right now.
So many I was like, because I had my now wife on one side, my friend on the other side. My dad was sitting next to him, and I was just doing so many of these, just like beating people on the chest, because all three of us were just like, all three of us were just like losing our. And my poor dad was just like, he hadn't had a pop brownie that strong and since college probably. So it was a lot for him. But he enjoyed himself.
He probably had a little more transcendental experience. What you're saying there?
He loves Star Wars. It was great. That's like our thing. That's like our bond.
He was in Maz's castle. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Between that, the whole that ship is garbage, and then the Falcon shows up. That was like a big oh my god.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's the other moment that I remember when I watched it for the first time. The solo thing is a big thing. I always talk about that. But when it pans over to the Falcon, it's just a huge pop. A huge
the pop, and that, and just the time back when people clapped in movie theaters, as cliche as it is, like it still is, like it gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling of like I'm among my people here, like we're all enjoying this together, kind of. It's like going to Celebration kind of thing. I just love walking around Celebration, even though I'm standing in line, everyone's like crowded, everything. It's just like we're all here for the same reason, kind of thing. I love that vibe so much.
So good.
But the Falcon moment, and then also I just remember when Solo eats it and falls over. I just remember my dad looking over at me and being like, "He died," and he's like whispering, but he's whispering really loud, and he's also like really, really high. And like so obviously looks like that. So that memory is just like baked into my mind. And then I cried a little bit when Rey caught the lightsaber because
don't even get me started.
Yeah.
When we do our review next week, that's gonna be something I highlight for a while, because that catching up the lightsaber thing was just such a mind blowing experience. I truly it was like, oh, I like this. Like that. Yeah, that's an amazing one. That's a great story, Steve. That's the memories that not to sound sad or anything, but like that's the kind of stuff you share. At the end of your own life, you're like, man, I know seeing a movie sound. But you know what I mean? Like seeing a movie sounds so silly. Like, oh, I saw a movie that changed my life, right? But like that's the kind of stuff you're like,
he just
man,
opens his eyes on a hospital bed, like, oh damn it!
Here are your whole entire life was waiting for this fucking stream to be on it.
All right, buddy.
Steve,
thanks, guys.
We're gonna have you on properly very soon.
We gotta have you like we just like have been kind of like sneaking you in, and
we no more sneaking in.
Have me anytime.
I know we do. We need to plan something.
If I can get out of Ken's basement, I'm happy to do what I can.
Yeah, man. We'll pass you some bolt cutters or something. You'll be fine.
Oh, dude, that would be great. Also, like, something to heat up all this ramen. He just keeps throwing me ramen with nothing to heat it up with. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with that. It's not like a pop
dry ramen.
Yeah, that's all I have, man. Dry ramen and orange Kool-Aid. That's all I got.
Jesus.
Hey, yeah.
Classic
Ken,
Ken,
man.
though.
Oh yeah.
The Kool-Aid's good though.
That's the classic Ken move.
Classic Ken move. That son of a bitch. Steve, I don't know if you want to plug anything and blathering or anything. You're more than welcome to.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here. Please, anytime, welcome to come back. Blathering Gaming, come check us out. I do gaming streams on my own when Ken lets me out of the basement, and I have calls, bring people on. We shoot the shit, talk about what's going on in the world, and I try to make you laugh. So come check it out.
I got one last question, Steve. I see it in the back corner. That BB-8, was that the TFA like the $60 BB-8 that like you click the top of its head and it would make the noise? Or no?
Oh no, that thing goes all. That thing terrorizes your dog.
Okay, that's the one. Is that the Disney Parks one or no? Is that just its own?
That was a Christmas gift from I think my wife or someone. So I'm not sure exactly. It came in like the It came in the Force Awakens, like all that official packaging.
Okay, I remember that one. That was a big. Yeah, that dude was big. Yeah, I do remember this because Jerry.
Yeah, but it does. I think it does an app and it has like its own dedicated controller.
Okay,
It'll like follow you around and shit. It's like a big version of the Sphero toy almost. It's not quite as like advanced, but I've got that on the shelf back there.
That's sick. Man, we all bought toys back then. I wouldn't unless they make a really good Grogu. I don't plan on buying like another like scale replica of anything. Like that. It would have to be a Grogu that you can maneuver the arms or something and mess around with. But Steve, love you, dog. Thank you for being here. Stay Bombad. We'll catch up soon. Great stream, great hang tonight, Jerry. I really enjoyed this. Obviously, we've been looking forward to this for a while. The 10 years of TFA memories, man. I just can't believe it's been 10 years. We've now talked for almost the entire runtime of the movie. I think it was 2 hours and 5 or 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we have overtaken it by a half hour, guys. This has been great.
It's been awesome.
We're not even really talking about the movie yet.
No, not yet. That's next week. The movie is next week. But I will say, I love all of you here. We've had a really big audience tonight just to hear, hanging out, talking about this project. And 2 hours and 18 is the runtime. Thank you, Brady. But anyway, we're going to go. We had a great time with y'all. Next week.
884M.
So we'll admit it. We'll say it here. Jerry and I's other favorite IP is making a movie. And it's coming out next Thursday. So it'll be a pre-record next week. Or we may even just go live on a Wednesday night. Whatever Jerry and I can pull off, we're going to make something work.
We'll make it happen.
We'll see. But Avatar Fire and Ash next week, we'll have probably a review of that at some point as well. But we love you all very much. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. This has been a very good night. Jerry, I don't know if you want to plug anything else, any hyper-focus stuff coming up. I'm not even sure.
Well, listen, I got to talk to my co-host. I think we might have one more hyper focus in us before the year is up. What's up, Noah Olson? How's it going? But yeah, no, and listen, we are almost to the end of the year, so we might do one of those. We might not. Enjoy your time, guys. Enjoy your time. Make the best of it. And yeah, go watch The Blue People next week. Sincerely.
That's right.
Everyone thinks that everyone thinks that no one likes it, but then it still makes a lot of money.
Makes $1 billion. And it's not that
it's not
success.
That don't make it good. But Way of Water, listen. Shut up, Eli. Listen. Shut up, Eli. Listen to people. Okay. The first Avatar, whatever. Okay. Fern Gully in space. Fine. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's not even good. Way of Water. Fucking jazz, man. So good.
Biodigital jazz, man. Anyway, I love you, G. I love you, Nola Onsen, Outlawson, Noah Olson.
Who's Nola?
Nola Outlawson. And then shout out to I'm definitely considering an edible for Fire and Ash. That sounds fantastic. I love all of you. Thank you again for being here. As always, stay Bombad!
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know.
being gone for